Hold up.
My name is Dave. This is Joe.
I listened to that podcast and I was like, I'm with him.
That sounds really cool. And then Chris Humphrey's hard fouls and Kevin Garnett pushes him straight to the third row. Let's go. My name is Dave. This is Joe. Let's go. This is the Boston Sports Nerds Podcast, the B.S.N Show. Joe, you got anything you want to say before you go?
No, we have talked a lot.
We have talked a lot. Nothing left of the tank. Let's go.
Welcome back to another episode of the Boston Sports Nerds Podcast. This is the BS Nerd Show. My name is Dave. I'm accompanied by my two fellow nerds here, the host of WECP, and sitting to my right is
Aaron.
And then to my left is the host of our fantasy football podcast on the B.S.N network,
Joe.
Hey.
Dave, I think there's some stuff to be. Yeah, this sounds right.
What's up?
I think I might have some grave dancing to do, like I prefaced on the last show. I'm glad you got the grave dancing music going.
And why is that, Joe?
Because I believed. I'm a true believer. I knew the Pats are going to bring it all together. They're the goddamn Patriots, the most successful franchise last 15 years in all of football. And I was with doubters. There were doubters in my midst. On a Boston sports podcast, a guy who said the Falcons were a broken team picked them to beat the Patriots. Of all teams, Super Bowl champions, reigning Super Bowl champions who just beat this team in a huge comeback victory and broke them forever. Dave's own words were the Falcons were a broken franchise. And what kind of confidence did he have in the Patriots? So much that he picked a broken franchise to beat them in their own house. I believed in the defense. I knew it was coming back. I saw it in Tampa Bay. The Jets were, they stubbed their toe a little, but we're not worried. It's just an AFC East opponent. They always struggle a little. It's the Jets, for Christ's sakes. But the broken Falcons, to think that the broken Falcons were going to come in to Foxborough with the fog machines running and beat the Pats on their own turf.
I couldn't account for the fog machines.
Well, no one could.
Yeah, I couldn't account for those.
Oh, the grave dance music, let it play. Let it play out. Na 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 na. All right, you can end the grave dance.
All right, you real proud of yourself?
I am.
All right.
And I won the pick'em because of it.
You did win the pick'em.
Maybe it might not be because of that, but
it definitely didn't hurt.
It didn't hurt.
It didn't hurt you.
Well, it doesn't hurt that you guys pick the Browns every week, too.
That also probably helps you.
We will talk about that later. They went into fucking overtime 9-9 and still lost.
As a Browns
supporter,
as a Browns optimist,
hashtag Browns going brown.
As a Browns optimist, that was a heartbreaker. That was a real heartbreaker. Okay, all right. But this is the 44th episode of the Boston Sportscast. That was 44th. I left the OU out, so it's like 41st. So there's the 40.
That
Jesus,
is like
the 40.
That is like a 1 and a 4 combined.
Yeah, 41st.
41st episode.
41st episode. There's the 44th episode. You guys got to start getting your Hall of Fame quotes ready.
Oh, it's almost 50.
We're getting close.
I don't ever have to make a Hall of Fame quote. I'll just take all of last episode.
You're just gonna renominate.
I'm just gonna do my whole rant.
Yeah, I think my favorite quote is, "What is your excuse? What is your excuse? What is your excuse? What is your excuse?" I so badly wanted to cut that and take it as a drop, and then just randomly when we're talking about something that the Patriots aren't doing well, and then Joe's like, "What are you talking about, Billy? What is your excuse? What is your excuse?" And then
I'm gonna nominate the grave dance episode. That's my favorite episode.
So is this the grave dance episode? That's the name already. The grave dance episode. All right, yeah, that's already a foregone conclusion. So the Patriots had a very, very impressive win against the Atlanta Falcons, despite what I thought about it going into it. They played as well as I've seen them play for 10 games, 15 games.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was better than any of their playoff performances. I thought, and me and Aaron were watching the game together per usual. And I thought there was a real sense of urgency that came from the top down. Like Belichick calling the timeout or Brady calling the timeout with 2:09 left, and they're over there all huddled up, the three of them, talking about what to do here to get the first down. Let's put this game away. I thought that showed a really strong message from the coaching staff too. Like, hey, we're all in this kind of together. This play is important. Every play is important. It seemed like a game with urgency, even though they dominated from opening whistle to the last whistle, and it was just it was a Patriot type game, and I felt like this is the Patriots team that we haven't seen all year, but they took that game and did what they wanted with it, and I was really impressed by it. So Aaron's shaking his head. No, still.
You still weren't impressed with the game?
He only threw for 249 yards.
He only threw 28 times. So
he completed like 20 of them, right?
21 for 29.
21 for 29.
Eight incompletions.
Right. Yeah, so he was like 73% completion percentage. No big deal. Nothing major.
Like one or two of those
How much did they
could have
rush
been
for,
interceptions.
I don't know what they rushed for. Actually, that's a good question. But also, like, one or two of those were blatant drops, too. Like, there was a couple of close picks, especially the roughing the passer pick.
That was a pick.
What was that about? That was weird.
I think
162 yards they ran for.
Yeah,
that's good.
Total
that's
good. For the team.
Rex Burkhead came in for like one series, just completely dominated.
Just did his thing.
31 yards.
Yeah,
31 yards on 6 carries.
Deion Lewis is like
5.2 yards per carry.
Deion Lewis is reverting back to like 2008.
This is
not 2008.
Yeah,
like Deion Lewis of like 2 years ago.
High school Deion Lewis.
13 rushes, 76 yards. 5.8 yards per carry.
Yeah,
he had a long of 25.
Right.
He looked great.
Yeah, he looked really good.
Yeah, he looked like who he looked like, only just not as like stout, is a Maurice Jones-Drew. He was bouncing in and out of shit.
Yeah, he was in and out. Yeah,
he was hiding behind people.
It's true. What about the cook? Speaking of hiding behind people, the cook, go Gronk, go. And rode on his back.
I heard someone describe him as like turning into a centaur when he like grabbed onto Gronk's back.
It was just like in Avatar, how you like tie your ponytail and then all of a sudden you're part of the beast. That's exactly what that was
awesome.
Like.
Lead the way, big man. Lead the way.
That was like
he ain't stupid.
No, that was great. And I love Gronk's explanation of that. He says, I didn't really know I couldn't see the play going on behind me. All of a sudden I just hear, go Gronk, go, and I barely block a guy and he made a great play. Whatever it is like. So that was good.
On that interception, what I think happened is Brady rolls out of the pocket and he's trying to tell, I think it's Hogan.
Yeah. To go to an area.
To go to a spot.
Right.
And what I think is he saw Hogan in the corner and he didn't see the corner that he threw the ball to.
Yeah.
Like he didn't know that guy was over there because I don't think he saw he could see all the way into that corner.
Right.
So he's thinking it's just Hogan in this corner.
Yeah.
So I'm going to throw it to a spot where only Hogan can get it.
And then that guy just...
He doesn't know that there's a guy like literally right there.
And also the thing is, at that point, because they were in zone coverage, everyone's watching Brady point to a spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they're sitting back there like, okay, he's behind me, he's close. Okay, I'm going over here now. You know what I mean? Like, so it's sort of like a really telegraph.
It was just like I didn't see that guy there. And they got bailed out. But
yeah, because I see the flag, I'm like, oh, defensive holding. He's the best in the league at that. You know what I mean? Seeing a penalty and then thinking, okay, whatever.
I'll throw it and draw attention to it. Right. That's what I always think he does. Like, he knows that a guy got held, and he'll see like a ball in the dirt and be like, what the hell was he throwing at?
Right.
He was just throwing in a guy's direction so that the
play it was impacted by the holding. Yeah,
the only thing that scares me is when he does that, throws it into that area, they intercept it, and I'm like, if they don't throw a flag,
right, then what are you doing?
First of all, Brady's going to lose his shit. Second of all, I get it. You're trying, like you're saying, you're trying to bring attention to it,
right?
But fuck, man, throw it out of bounds. Like, throw it out of bounds in that direction.
On that play, there wasn't even anything to throw it to bring attention to because the guy didn't hold Hogan.
Right.
Brady got hit, so it's not like. That's why I think he just didn't see that guy.
Yeah,
he was trying to throw it in a safe spot and didn't know that there was a guy there.
So he's Tom Brady and he got lucky getting the call like always.
Oh, that's a rough in the pass.
No. That was the thing. The guy at the bar that was yelling behind us, and I'm like, I get what you're doing, and I get why you're saying it. Because it is Tom Brady, but if that was Matt Ryan, the call would still be the same.
You touch helmets.
No matter what, that's the way the NFL's called.
I got into an argument on Facebook.
Yeah.
Because a kid posted a thing like, "Oh, of course Tom Brady gets the call."
Yeah.
He was like, "If that was Cam Newton and he was scrambling out of the pocket, he wouldn't get a call." I was like, "Quick stat check over here by the Patriots fan." Cam Newton has the most. Roughing the passer calls in the NFL since he's entered the league. So that's like a false narrative.
Total moot point.
Yeah. So shut that up.
He does get clobbered. There are times,
and I was like,
especially last year, there were times where that guy was like, man, he's getting killed.
Yeah.
But he also
yeah, right. That's the thing. And it's sort of like with Rob Gronkowski. We see that going on right now too. When you're the bigger, more dominant, physical, stronger guy, every time you touch somebody,
they're trying to hurt you.
Every time you touch someone, it's offensive push-off.
Yeah.
And if they're mugging you, hey, that's what they got to do.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't think it's fair, but I get it because Gronk can literally
the push-off call?
Yeah, the push-off call. Right. And that's a... guy's running. He's like this. He's already at an arm's length behind him.
He's not even. They're like, well, he extended the elbow. Like, you can extend it.
He stiff-armed him.
You can extend it. You can extend an elbow and not push off.
Right.
He's 6'7". You can just be feeling where the guy is.
His wingspan is huge.
Crazy, right? And I'm like, the guy's not even looking at the ball.
You can be feeling where the guy is,
right?
And have your arm extended,
right?
Like that's not.
And just because Gronk's hand is like a cement telephone pole, you know what I mean? People run into it like, oh, you know what I mean? It's just like you can tell he sold that a lot too. Like, oh man, I got clobbered.
Well, then that goes as a great sell job to the guy that got the call.
It works. But it's like the same thing with Shaq. Like, you used to have to really foul Shaq because people
he's
could
big,
be hanging off all over him. Right?
You couldn't bounce off.
So you used to have to really foul him.
That's the other thing with that narrative. How many times do you actually see Brady get like a roughing the pass? Like I feel like it's not that much.
Especially over the past few years.
Yeah.
Early it used to happen like where he'd barely get touched and you'd see him go to the ref like, come on, and like, oh yeah, sorry.
I was like, you guys know like was it 2 years? No, not 2 years ago when Denver beat them.
Yeah.
To go to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Brady got hit in that game more than any quarterback has been hit in the history of the NFL
football,
in a single game. He didn't get a single roughing the passer call.
Right.
So he's been hit like 20 times in one game.
Right.
And never got a roughing the passer call.
That's true.
How about this? Hold on. Why are we talking about the offense?
Because
other than they look good.
Right.
The big takeaway from the game,
the defense,
is the defense. What the fuck?
Right,
that's what I've been yelling about.
They should have looked. The offense should have if I was. I even said it on the last episode. Like if the offense looks bad against Atlanta,
right?
Like then we have a problem. And the offense came out. They performed how they should have performed. It actually looked smoother than it has looked. To your point of and I think they did a good job. You know what I noticed they were doing? They were running a lot more out of the shotgun.
Yes,
Such a much better move.
We've been saying that for weeks.
I know we have.
Yeah.
I don't like when he turns his back to the defense, like when he does like the play action calls from under center, where he has to turn his back to the defense and pretend like he's handing off. By the time he turns back around, the offensive line is just not good enough to the point where he has. Although. That game started off and the offensive line looked iffy, and then as the game progressed,
they got better.
It got much better.
They got better as time went on. That's true. Yeah. Yep. You
But
see that defensive line. Well, I think it's because they ran a lot of plays and they ran the ball a lot.
Yeah.
So that defensive line, I think, got gassed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think they were able to start doing those play action passes, and it was like Brady had a lot more time.
The defense.
Yeah.
They shut down the run. They were like, we're not fucking with that shit at all in the beginning of the game.
Right. They played really well.
Their coverage was really good, and they don't get like a crazy pass rush. If they had sacked, Ryan got sacked once for a loss of 10 yards.
Right. Yep.
Brady got sacked twice. I think
he got sacked twice for a loss of 8.
Yeah.
But Matt Ryan was three rushes for 37 yards.
Right. Yeah.
Like he had that big run,
that big 4th and 7, man.
What the fuck was that? By the way,
what it is they dropped into coverage, not enough people staying home.
Right.
Because Matt Ryan, as much as he is...
It was like a 3-man rush. And then,
and all he has to do is hope to God somebody blocks their defensive line.
That's not even what I'm talking about.
Right. The Falcons coached their way out of that game.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
We're going to treat this like any other game. It's just a regular game. It's not about revenge. And then you go for it on 2 fourth downs.
On 3 fourth downs.
Yeah. That is not how you would coach any other game.
Right. No.
That's how you would coach... against a team you're trying to get revenge on.
The 4th and 6, I understood because they were at like the 40-yard line, and it was like too far for a field goal. You kind of need. You don't really want to punt it there. Maybe you can get the. Maybe you get the first.
Is that like you have that much confidence in your defense that the last time you saw the Patriots, they came back and scored 31 straight points on you, or 28 straight points on you?
Right.
You have that much confidence in your defense that you're going to give Tom Brady the ball at the 40?
I gotta tip my cap. The 4th and 2 or 4th and goal.
Yeah.
Aaron says, "Oh, they're going to run a little reverse here or whatever." Right?
No, I was like, it's going to be an end around.
End around, yeah, right. And end around. And I said, I like a QB sneak. I like a QB sneak here. And he goes, that's a good call. And then, sure enough, end around. And then I'm thinking, what a bad play call.
Yeah, why the fuck would you call an end around?
You should do that on 3rd down.
Yeah, or 2nd down.
On a down other than your last opportunity to score. I could not believe that.
Well, the thing is also, you need to learn a little bit of like intelligence when it comes to, hey, you're going to get the ball in this play, don't act like it.
Right.
Because that's what they used to do when what's his name? Brandon Jacobs. when he played for the Giants. They literally had to pull him from games because as soon as he knew he was getting the ball.
Yeah,
you could visibly see him bouncing.
Yeah, he's all hyped. Yeah.
The way they're running, their wide receivers were running onto that field. I'm like, it's got to be an end around. Like something's going to happen here where they normally don't.
Some gadget type thing.
What you do is you sell that. So you keep calling plays to him, so he starts bouncing. Right. And then once the defense picks up on it, you call a play to him, so he starts bouncing.
You just play action
audible
pass
out
and
of
go crazy.
it. Audible out of it.
That play, and I'll say it again, and I know maybe there's egg on my face because I did say the Falcons would win that game. They are broken broken.
Well, that's
that
the thing.
Team is shattered.
You said that when we were talking about the upcoming game. You were like, "Oh yeah, the Falcons are broken." And then we got to the pick 'em. You're like, "Oh, I'm picking the Falcons." I was
that said more about the Patriots defense.
I was like, "How broken do you think the Pats are then? If you think the Falcons are a broken team,
I think the Falcons are a broken franchise. At the time, the Patriots were historically the worst defense in the history of football,
and
it spoke more to the Patriots defense than it did credit to the Falcons.
And you had your second corner,
right?
A guy that came off of a practice squad,
and
was playing
really well,
barely playing special teams.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden he comes out. I will give them extreme credit for being able, even though he put up some stats. Julio Jones, he was 9 for 99.
Yeah.
11
non-factor though,
but he had the one
touchdown.
and the one touchdown. Right. He was targeted 13 times.
Which, by the way, if we start that new segment, that's filthy. That might be my that's filthy. Touchdown catch was.
Well, the thing
filthy.
is, you can't even be angry at Malcolm Butler because he played it perfect.
He played it perfect.
He actually had a pick.
Yeah,
it was
he
a
had
pick.
An interception. The only thing Butler did wrong was he timed his jump just a second too early because he was on his way down while Jones was on his way up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And the thing is, and this is what I said. I said to you actually when we were talking outside the show. If that's Gilmore,
that's picked.
It's an interception because Gilmore's just a bigger, stronger corner.
Right? Yeah.
And Malcolm, that's the only downside to Malcolm Butler is he's small.
No, I don't even want to argue it. I just think that, not to sound stupid, but Julio Jones is just that good.
He is just that good. But I think he's also a mismatch against Malcolm Butler. Malcolm Butler is very slight.
He wasn't on him the whole game.
No.
I was going to say the other kid, Badamosi.
Yeah.
He made a play in one pass that they threw to, because he was targeted, like I said, he was targeted 11 times or whatever, 13 times, I think. Yeah, 13, and he made 9 catches.
Right.
But, should have had 8, obviously. Right. That should have been an interception. But Badamosi, he had that one pass where he just, he straight up just played it perfectly on. He was playing great.
That's true. I loved the Falcons haven't scored in ticker.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up, and I was like, I want to shut them out. I want to fucking shut them out, and then they'll be at 100 minutes or whatever. I was like, that'd be great. But yeah, it's a garbage time touchdown. It was a really nice play by Julio Jones. And
and you can't blame that.
Randy mossed him, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it
was Julio Jones being Julio Jones.
Right.
I mean, you can limit it as much as you can, but eventually he's going to get his play.
Again,
in the Super Bowl,
perfect coverage.
In the Super Bowl, they tried to limit it as much as he can. He just made some ridiculous plays.
And that's what I think it was Belichick that was talking on EI after the Super Bowl that says Julio Jones is going to get his 6 to 10 catches, his 80 to 120 yards. You just can't let him dominate the flow of the game.
And the thing is, he catches the ball, but it turns into insignificant catches.
Right.
I caught a ball, we got a first down, and then
at no point did I feel like, man, Julio Jones is going off tonight. And 9 for 99 and a touchdown's a good week. You know what I mean? But it just didn't
he
feel
kicked the
like
shit out of me in fantasy.
Yeah, but here's the other thing:
couldn't run the ball to Devonta Freeman. They had to throw a ball. They had fucking 4 tries on the fucking goal line. Couldn't get a touchdown.
Handed to Tyler Gabriel instead.
The one thing I took away is you finally got a little bit. I know it's a little bit of a pass rush because you only got 1 sack in the game,
but they got after it.
Adam Butler. Is it Adam Butler?
Adam Butler. The sack, right?
He had the sack. It was his first sack of his career.
Yeah.
He played good.
And he's like Wilfork kind of in the middle with the run.
A little bit, yeah.
I mean, obviously he's not Vince Wilfork, but he's kind of coming into that role where it's I'm going to be your in-the-middle guy.
That's the thing. Branch. Well, I was going to say, that's the other thing is you've gotten lucky that as soon as you got rid of Wilfork, you kind of lucked into Branch being underachiever in Arizona. He was a stud coming out of college, but he was underachiever at Arizona.
Yeah.
And then you have this Butler kid that might turn into that guy that actually is a stud defensive lineman.
Right.
And you didn't have to you didn't have to give up a first round pick.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's not and then my boy that stopped the fucking end around, Kyle Van Noy.
Yeah.
we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
But I am not as stressed about Hightower going out as everybody else is.
Right. Yeah. So I guess that'll take us right into the next thing.
I do want to talk about one other thing.
Yeah.
When they first started the season, a defense was awful. I was like, maybe we downplayed the loss of certain people on the defensive line, like Chris Long.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have another Chris Long.
Yeah.
And his name is Cassius
Marsh.
He looks like Chris Long.
Yeah.
And he plays like Chris Long.
They do play a lot alike. Right.
And he's in like the same role.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They like he started. Obviously, he got fucked over in the fucking Chiefs game.
Yeah.
But he gave up that long touchdown. But that wasn't, as we're finding out now, that's not the role he's supposed to be in. Right. He's supposed to be a situational pass rusher, which he's settled in.
hit.
Yeah,
that was his stat.
Yeah, he's settled. But the thing is, it's all about pressure. So
right.
And he seems to do a good job rushing from the outside.
Yep. He collapses the pocket,
collapsing that pocket, forcing the quarterback to step up.
Yep.
Which is what runs right into Butler,
runs
Branch,
right
into Branch, runs right into Malcolm Brown when he's in the game.
I remember when Alan Branch came from
Malcolm
Seattle.
Brown hurt?
Malcolm Brown is.
I think he's on the injured. I think he's on the injured report.
He might be. Yeah.
Or Trey Flowers, wherever they put Trey Flowers on the play.
I remember when Alan Branch got cut from Seattle. Right?
Yeah.
Is that what they got? Yeah. Because he had like 1 or 2 years with them, and I remember thinking like that guy was a fucking hog in the Super Bowl against the Broncos. Like he just went off. And then I was like, man, I really like this guy. Like you said, like to fill in for Wilfork after he kind of underachieved in Arizona. Had a little come up in Seattle, but was part of a better defense in general. So you don't really know.
You never heard about him.
Right. But I just remember him playing really well in the bowl. And then I just felt like, man, that's a really good guy. And you're right. He's a real subtle, miniature, light version of Wilfork. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't do all the things, but he does some of them really well. And he is a big part of that defensive line.
And he struggled in the beginning of the year. He was struggling. They benched him.
They told him not to travel with the team.
Yeah.
And
so they played that Butler kid the whole game, and then he came back and was like, I'm going to
kind of like the Jabal Sheard treatment. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
only he saw the light.
Yeah, right. Well, Jabal Sheard finished strong last year too. He played better after the Jamie Collins
I just
trade.
never.
You didn't like him?
I was excited about him.
Yeah.
He just never. He reminded
that was the
me.
thing about Jabal Sheard is I think Pats fans set such an expectation for him that he never met it.
That was Adam Schefter that was like, this is going to be the best free agent acquisition of the season.
He did do that.
Yeah. And then everyone was like, wow, this is a steal. And I remember when they played the Browns, and I was like, that kid gets after it. He gets after it.
I think that's what it is. Like, you saw what he could be.
Right.
And he never did that in New England.
Yeah.
But he also was playing for the Browns.
Right. Yeah, it's easy to shine when you're on the Browns. Yeah.
I mean, unless you're Jamie Collins, you just decide to die in that
paycheck.
That black hole.
But to move on to the preview part of this.
Yes. All right, I'm going to grave dance here.
Serious?
Not really. Not really. I'm not happy about it.
This isn't the official grave dance music anyway, so you can't grave dance.
Hightower is done for the season, ladies and gentlemen.
What is his injury?
Torn pectoral.
It literally seemed like it was like Hightower, sore shoulder, done for the season. It's like what?
No, he's got a torn pectoral. I think, did he have a torn labrum or a torn pectoral when he made the play on Marshawn Lynch in the Seattle Bowl?
I think it was a torn labrum.
Labrum, okay. I was going to say, is that like another torn pectoral?
I feel like that would be hurt even more.
Right. Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Then again, I've never torn my pec or my labrum.
Well, also, in a Super Bowl, you're like, hey,
all jazzed up.
Put a shot in this thing. Right. We're going to let adrenaline and medication take care of this. I'll figure it out when the game's over. But it's the fucking Atlanta Falcons week 7?
Right.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. So, yeah, he's done for the year, which sucks.
There goes your pass rush, as Joe would say.
Best pass rusher on the team, Dante Hightower, done for the year.
I'm telling you,
I'm not a fan of. I mean, I'm real upset about it.
I thought you were gonna say I'm not a fan of Dante Hightower. I was like, oh, you son of a bitch.
No, I am a fan. I am a fan.
Switching sides real quick.
I am on this podcast. I think the #1 Dante Hightower fanboy.
Definitely for sure.
Because I was the one who said I think they need to re-sign him.
Yeah,
I think you know what? And the thing
three
is,
of us go in order. It was like they need him. I was like, at the right price, I'll take him. They don't need to pay him any money. Like that's how Aaron felt. Like we don't. Need to pay
I just thought he was. It's the same situation as like I'm the opposite about Butler. Like, pay the motherfucker.
Pay the man, yeah.
Like, pay him whatever he wants, but pay him the market
I think we
value.
all agreed on Butler.
I have a quick question for you. I was having a conversation with my friend Joe, and not this Joe, another Joe.
I was gonna say, I don't remember this conversation.
Not Josie.
Not Josie. This guy actually goes by Johio.
Not how you say it.
He goes by Johio. Is Stephon Gilmore going to finish the season a Patriot?
Yes.
Absolutely, positively.
Yes. There's no way they give up on that.
Does he play cornerback for the Patriots next year?
That is a little bit more touch and go. I'm still going to say yes.
Because he presented that they could trade him, eat some of the salary, and then pay Malcolm Butler.
Also potential, but...
Would Butler look at it and go, guys, you were wrong? Unless you publicly state...
I think he just wants to get paid.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I feel that he is, and he's rightfully so, prideful about it. Like, hey, guys, like, I've shown you...
I do think he's wrong, though.
Who?
Like, if I don't even know that Butler feels this way. If he resents the fact that the Patriots paid Stephon Gilmore a lot of money and not him, he's wrong. Because he was not an unrestricted free agent. He wasn't in the bidding pool, and Stephon Gilmore was. That happens to unrestricted free agents.
I agree with that part of it.
Yeah.
But I look at it as, hey, you are horrible at getting corners to play in your secondary.
True.
And I'm one that you didn't have to spend any draft capital on. You've been paying me fucking McDonald's fries
from episode 13 all the way back. Yeah.
You fucking...
Right.
You could have spent not Gilmore money.
Right.
But just below it.
But do we know that? Like, what's the number?
Yeah.
Like, is it?
I understand we don't know.
9, and he says, "You're crazy," and then he gets 13. Well, 13 for an unrestricted free agent. We offered you 9 as a restricted free agent. That's the same thing because we don't have to pay you that.
Yeah.
There's no one else that can. You know what I mean?
think Stephon Gilmore finishes the year as a Patriot.
Yep.
That's what you asked, right?
Stephon Gilmore. Yeah.
And then I think he is your number one corner next year. Malcolm Butler is gone, and Eric Rowe and Jonathan Joseph split duty as number 2.
Jonathan Jones.
Or
did they make an acquisition
for
Jonathan
Jones?
Okay, all right.
Jonathan Jones, not Jonathan Joseph. I would be happy if it was Jonathan Joseph.
I'll take Jonathan Joseph as the 2.
I hate that.
I
don't disagree with your idea.
I don't hate that.
I just hate that.
And the reason I don't hate that is Jonathan Jones has been quietly playing out of his head.
No, I'm not saying
out of his head. Like, have you heard his name called? No, because he hasn't given up anything.
No one's open. Right, yeah.
He's been playing slot corner and just, shutting people. Taylor Gabriel had an end around.
Had one run for -2 yards, right?
Other than that, did he catch a ball? I think Jonathan Jones was on him the whole game.
Yeah, that's I know what you're going to say, though. You don't like the fact that it's Gilmore
is going to be your
yeah.
Right, yeah.
But the thing is,
I'm not done with Gilmore yet.
Or Rowe, because Rowe can't stay healthy. That's my big issue with Rowe.
But I
don't think Rowe's a bad player.
They don't have Rowe now.
That's what I'm saying.
You're
you're committing to a guy that can't stay on the field.
It's a recency bias thing because we haven't seen Gilmore and we've seen Butler, and Butler looked good in the last game. But the last time we saw Gilmore, he also looked really good. He shut down Mike Evans in that Tampa Bay game. Mike Evans had 5 catches for 40 yards or something like that.
Didn't we have a conversation about how we walked away from that game?
I felt like Jameis missed Mike Evans a lot.
I felt like, I don't know. How many times was he targeted?
I don't know. I'd have to check that. I don't have that data. But
I feel like Jameis missed throws in that game, but I don't feel like they were on Gilmore. I feel like they were on other people.
That could be true.
I feel like he missed Deshaun Jackson a lot.
That's probably true.
Which shouldn't be Gilmore's matchup, and I don't think was Gilmore. I think they literally were hey, you have Mike Evans.
Right, you're big. Guard him. Right.
Yeah, I
feel the same way.
I'm very...
Bill Belichick...
I like the fact that you got a guy. He is a Bill Belichick guy.
He's a Patriot.
He's a Patriot through and through.
The thing is...
And you don't want to pay him?
He is a Bill Belichick guy, but Bill has a really weird lack of confidence in Malcolm Butler, despite what we've seen from him. Because if you remember going into the Super Bowl last year, there were reports that he wasn't going to have Malcolm Butler guard Julio Jones. He was going to have Devin McCourty do it.
Right.
So obviously, He has some hang up about Malcolm Butler, and I think it's the size thing.
It's a size issue. That's why they went and paid a lot of money for Gilmore.
So he went out and got a corner that he thinks can cover every receiver in the league.
Right.
But every corner they've ever drafted is fucking 5'11" and lower.
Right. Yeah.
Every year they go out and get a guy in like the 4th or 5th round.
Razai Dowling.
Yeah. We saw how that turned out.
The great Razai Dowling.
The late great Razai Dowling.
But that's the issue. My issue is,
if your name was Razai, would you not change your last name to Ghoul? Because you're so close. You are so close to Razai Ghoul.
You're right there. Right there.
Maybe you're like,
or middle name at least. Like I'm Razai
like,
Dowling.
I don't want to live forever. I want to live now.
In the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, this got really deep.
Yeah.
But the defense finally showed up.
Yeah. So what do you think about the Chargers now?
I
think what's his name's a good quarterback,
Rivers,
but I don't think he's playing well this year.
Yeah, I don't think he's.
And I don't think this is going to be the game that he decides to show up.
Fantasy football Joe's going to step in for a second here. Phillip Rivers, while not throwing as many touchdowns this year, has been significantly better at not turning the ball over. Whereas last year he was throwing literally 2 picks a game or something, like some ridiculous stat. He's much better this year at not throwing picks. That being said, if you did listen to Joe's Fantasy Field Goal, I said sneaky play of the Patriots defense this week because Phillip Rivers is still prone to turnovers. Even though he hasn't been turning it over as much, he still is.
And the past he looks like they're on the up and up.
Yeah, he likes to throw jump balls, and he'll take chances. He's a gunslinger in every sense of the word.
Right.
So if the Pats
he is
defense,
the only thing going on there.
Right.
I know they have Gordon, but he hasn't had a big crazy game what's his name in LA? The Rams. Gurley.
Yeah.
He's not doing
Gurley's
a Gurley where he's just
year.
running well. He's just
the NFC has more interesting football this year than the AFC.
Yeah, probably true.
You know what it is? It's a West Coast East. It's an East Coast West Coast thing.
Yeah,
and it feels like that in the NBA as well.
I don't think
Just
that's because I think the best team in the NFC is on the East Coast. And I think the best team in the AFC is on the East Coast.
In the NFC, who?
The Eagles.
Yeah, that's the best team in football right now.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Are the Eagles the best team in football?
Well, I just mean they had the best record.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you had to do an ultimate standings, the Eagles would be the best team in football. I got into a fight
with an Eagles fan, and he dropped out. I don't care. My team's 6-1. And I said, I don't care. My team's won 5 Super Bowls.
Right. There you go.
Yeah, scorched earth. I don't know what and then I instantly hit him with the Thriller music and started. And I put a little dance emoji.
Did a moonwalk away from him.
Yeah,
the kid sitting there can I go home?
Yeah. He's like, I don't have any Super Bowls.
I will say this: if New England comes out and defensively play well, they come out and they keep them at less than
Here's the thing that's even more annoying about New England now, though, is what fucking New England Patriots do we have now? Do we have the Tampa Bay and the Atlanta Falcons defense that we saw that limited teams to under 15 points?
Right.
Or do we have a fucking team that couldn't stop the Jets from throwing 4 touchdowns?
So, we're still not.
I want to see it
yet.
I want to see
consistency. We need back-to-back weeks of it.
It
doesn't.
Right.
I don't
know
know what defense we have.
I think that was the moment. I think that's the game. Point? And I think that the fog thing is going to fucking matter because when they do the Super Bowl DVD and the Patriots win the Super Bowl, it's going to be one late foggy night in Gillette Stadium or whatever. You know what I mean? And it's going to be that every year there's a championship, there's a game that they say, and it all stopped here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's by the way, this isn't my BalkTalk thing.
Yeah.
But fucking Julio Jones.
What are you doing?
With the random
what are you doing?
From the clouds well, I wonder why there was fog. Right. Yeah, because it's a precipitation thing. I don't know if you're a meteorologist, but
I love
every once in a while, fog happens.
Hey, outside of a dome, weather exists.
Well,
that's a thing.
Yeah, well, how many games like that do you see in New York?
Right.
It happens not regularly, but once a year.
You know what the reporter should have said back to him? Yeah, we pump in fog, you pump in crowd noise. It's the same thing.
Also, Seattle would be like that almost every game.
Right.
But they have a fucking dome. They have a retractable roof. They can put a dome up when they want to.
And they let off fireworks and stuff and fire the muskets, and the smoke just kind of sits there. Hey, turd, it's not smoke. That's fog. That's actual condensation from the air. That is a weather thing. Get out of the dome and just live outside for a while.
They were letting off the fireworks. Yeah, that stuff's still going to rise. It works just like it normally does.
Yep. And
it doesn't just sit around.
Right. In a dome.
I think you're confusing the two.
In a dome, you let off fireworks. Yeah, the smoke's going to collect in there. For sure. I agree. You do it outside, it moves. That's fog. You're a doink. Like, that guy sucks.
Also, the other thing was, obviously, when they were showing like the overhead thing, you couldn't see the field.
Right.
But when you were down on the field, it was fine.
It was sitting like above, 25 feet in the air, and that was it. Like, you know,
I could lose a ball, or you could see it perfectly against a backdrop of white.
There's some pretty, There's a pretty cool photo of Brady running off though, where it's like from the ground up, so it's like all fog behind him. And it was closer than some of those video cameras caught because they obviously were able to angle some of it. But yeah, it was weird. We were talking about like it's obviously just like resonating right above the
if
field
you're
level.
About
like
5 rows up, you're pissed.
Yeah, you're sitting there like I can't because even the overhead cam you could still see, but it was white. You know what I mean? But then when they showed from the announcer's view, like oh fuck yourself, like you can't see anything. No. That's just you can't see a damn thing. But yeah, that was interesting. And also my not mad at it would be the shit. You just said something that reminded me of it. Go ahead. You can keep going.
I have one more other question. There's no chance Julian Edelman can come back for that playoffs?
He's put on IR. He wasn't put on the ability to return one.
All right.
Yeah.
No, I was just talking about like his knee injury. Is there any chance it could have been healed by the time of the playoffs?
I don't think so.
Adrian Peterson did it in like 6 months or whatever it was, 6-7 months.
Yeah.
And he heard it early enough. I thought maybe he had heard it early enough in preseason where just think because it was like week 1, wasn't
Peterson
it?
hurt his at the end of the year and was back in August. Yeah. Or like back in September for the start of the season. That's when he rushed for like 1,800 yards.
Yeah, but that's like in the off season when they're not like overly testing you for everything. You can go to Germany and get as many shots in that knee as you need to let it heal. HGH.
When did he hurt it? Was it the third preseason game?
It was the third preseason game. Yeah. Yep.
So it wasn't actually that early in the preseason.
It was like the week, like mid-August.
2 weeks before the start of the season.
Yeah. So 6 months would be February. I mean that's
you're at the Super Bowl.
Right.
And I brought up Brady's like total yards. Mm-hmm. He also like one of those big push off call with Gronk. That was a big play that didn't get called back. Right. And that fucking wide open drop by frickin' Cooks. Those are 2 plays that like he easily would have had 300 plus yards. I made a joke about it, but like if you take those 2 catches,
24 for 28.
2 catches, it would have been much better.
The thing with like quarterbacks, the good quarterbacks, is I don't really get caught up in pure yardage stats.
No, I know. I threw it out there just to make a joke.
To me, it's always more of like an efficiency thing. Like I watch games where Aaron Rodgers throws for 183 yards, but he has 4 touchdowns. They win the game in a blowout. You know what I mean? To me, if you go 15 of 17 for 180 yards and 4 touchdowns, that's just as good of a game as someone who throws for 300-something yards.
Right. And 2 touchdowns.
And 2 touchdowns on fucking 40 attempts. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Well, that was the big thing is like they were able to make the other team basically punt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And their kicker, he missed 2 fucking field goals. One was blocked, and the other one he just hit the fucking
one was
crossbar.
Blocked, and then one was mentally blocked from the block before. He was like, I don't want this block.
He had to get that ball just out of there. Like,
also, do you guys see whenever special teams does something, I swear to God, you can see Bill Belichick's erection. It just shows up.
Oh God, yeah.
He gets so happy.
He loves special teams.
Special teams
so
happens. Like they showed him on the sideline, and it's just like he has this like giant smile, and he's like Tiger Woods fist pumping. And it's like, what, Bill? You've won Super Bowls and haven't given a reaction like that. Like you get a blocked field goal, and he's just like he like goes Super Saiyan on the sideline.
Yeah, but if they blow something on special teams, he rips the headset off.
Breaks the tablet.
He loses his shit.
Yeah,
he said he wasn't going back to the tablet.
He did,
and he lied. He lied about it. Maybe it just meant last year. I don't know. Let's move on to our pick'em. Or a reoccurring theme here. I don't have the drop, so let's get into our pick'em.
Take a look inside my crystal ball.
There you go. that drop will have to do for now.
That was the drop.
That was it.
Dave said he didn't have it, but then he found it.
Just kidding. I had it the whole time. What do we got? So we're recording this on Thursdays now, by the way. So Thursday Night Football is kicking off in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So we're not picking the winners, obviously, especially last week.
So, Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. If last week tells you anything.
Last week we watched the episode and we watched the actual football game, but we were still like, no, we'll go with it.
Let's add some credence to this. Make it legit. By the way, Aaron did pick the Chiefs. He just didn't say it last week. So I'm on to you. I'm on to you today.
He has it written down.
Yeah, but you didn't say it.
I wrote it down.
That is definitely weighted out.
That is not weighted out. I wrote it down and put an X next to it that I got it wrong.
Even if he did white it out and change it.
Still wrote Chiefs again.
Who won the week?
Right, Joe won the week.
Joe won
the Browns went into overtime and lost. So I picked the Browns. And then who was it else? There was wasn't it the Jets?
The Jets, the Dolphins-Jets game. Yeah,
it was tied in like...
Right. There was like a minute
McCown
left.
Threw a pick.
And then fucking Smoking Jay Cutler.
By the way, the Jets are going to be a better team. I mean, the Dolphins are going to be a better team now.
And we all picked...
Yeah, Jay Cutler's hurt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Probably.
Agreed.
I think the kid Matt Moore is a better quarterback.
He's not bad.
We all picked the Broncos last week.
Yeah. What
happened there? Who'd they play?
They played the Chargers and lost.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, fuck that. Yeah.
Dude, the Broncos offense.
We all picked the Jets. So I'm just pointing this out. And then
hey, my Jets pick came with a caveat that I will never pick a team that's started with Jay Cutler, and now they don't have Jay Cutler. So
the plot thickens.
I think it should switch. I think I should go to the Dolphins.
And we all picked the Panthers. Yeah. And we all picked the Chiefs.
Yeah, so it was like lost to the Bears.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but the Bears were at home.
I have a new tactic this week. I'm going to quit going with my quirky hunches. The Giants going to make the playoffs. I'm calling that.
You lost that one. They lost again.
They're all done. So I got to stop trying to be the guy that's like, told you, nailed it 10 weeks ago. Told you Giants were making the playoffs.
Oh, you're going to stop being Hot Take Dave?
Stop being Hot Take Dave. Yeah, that's over. So now it's like...
This week I don't think is a Hot Take week anyway.
Also, you wait. It was tired that character. I'm just kidding.
It was really funny when it was fantasy draft season, Joe's fantasy field goal. Yeah. Watching people take Eli Manning in like the 5th round, like, oh no, he's got the weapons.
Brandon Marshall,
he's going to be great.
Yeah, right,
he's going to be great. And you were wrong.
So yeah, eat that one.
All right, so the Thursday night game that's playing in 20 minutes.
Yep.
Dolphins at the Ravens.
Ooh,
I'm going Ravens, so I can. It is said, and it's also written down.
Okay, all
right. To me, you might as well have completely. This is not even the Dolphins that we know. This is a completely brand new Dolphins.
Yeah.
JHI has 150 yards on the ground. Wow. Dolphins win.
Caveat bonus there. If that happens, does he get 2 points or something?
If it happens, the grave dance music comes back.
Okay, all right.
Even though you guys aren't dying
I'm not
on this hill.
necessarily betting against that. Yeah, right. I'm gonna go Dolphins also.
Believe in the more.
I'm becoming a Dolphin.
I need more.
Get out of my house.
I'm becoming a Dolphin.
It's true. I watched Dave do 3 lines of coke before we started this show.
Yeah, we made that joke earlier too. That's funny. That's been a running thing. And also, total under the radar. That was the worst Dolphin impression ever. That was pretty bad.
It was worse than my Bane impression.
It was definitely worse than your Bane impression. Agreed. What do we got next?
Eric doesn't agree.
He's like, I'm just not touching that.
Bane.
No, we're not doing this again.
Chargers at the Pats.
I'm going to go San Diego Supercharged. No. Because they're Los Angeles now. So I'm going to go Patriots.
Dave picks the San Diego Chargers. That way he can change it when the Los Angeles Chargers lose.
Aaron, write down San Diego. Do not write down LA.
That's right, San Diego, please. Yeah. Just write down the city, San Diego.
Saint Diego.
San Diego. They actually say that the translation was lost hundreds of years ago.
German for...
Go ahead. And Joe?
Vagina.
Who you got?
I'm picking the Pats.
Okay, all right.
And I guess I'll go with the Pats.
You want to go?
I'll go with the Pats.
No, that's bad luck. So
I know.
Jesus Christ, Aaron, if they lose, I swear
I'm telling you.
We're going to be grave dancing for a completely different reason.
You should really go with the Chargers.
Aaron, you should just phone in the picks because you haven't won since week 2.
Hey, by that logic, you should also go with the Chargers.
I don't know about that.
Right. My score is going to be 30-17.
Okay, that's a good score. It's a good score. Do you want me to go?
Yeah.
I'm going to go 20. No. 27. 13.
I'm going to Price is Right, Aaron. I'm going to say 31-13. Or 31-17.
That's
sorry.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. All right. You got that? You got that? All right.
31-17.
Okay, I crossed it out
once. Funny if
once.
you said, I'm going to do Aaron one better, 30-17. Like, that's the same score.
I'm picking the same score.
I'm picking the same score. I almost had the fucking... Remember you joked, you're like, oh, the Jets-Dolphins game, this is going to be interesting to see who picks who. And I was like, I'm taking the third option. I'm calling a tie.
Almost.
Weren't far. Weren't far from it. Could have happened.
By the way, the Dolphins are 4-2.
Yeah, what's happening? What's going on
The
here?
Dolphins are 4-2. The Jets are 3-4, I think.
And the Bills are 4-2 also.
Yeah.
Right.
No, are the Bills 4-2 or 4-3?
Might be 4-3.
I think they've played. I don't think they've had their bye yet.
Could be true. That could be true.
I could be wrong about that too.
All right.
Vikings at the Browns.
Appreciate your honesty.
I want to see who you guys pick first.
I'm going Vikings.
Oh, okay.
I'm hoping that
Dave?
me picking against them.
Is this Hot Take Dave or is this
Hot Take Dave? Would tell you.
I just think
Cleveland
what's his name
Browns
has
win.
been playing good.
I'm gonna go.
Keenan's been
with the
okay.
Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, I'm going with the Vikings. I haven't picked the Browns yet this year. I'm not going to start.
Bills and Dolphins are both 4-2.
Yeah.
That's it. We have a half game lead.
Okay, so the Raiders at the Bills. I should just pick the team that I've been like chanting about all last week.
Aaron should grave dance music this after I went on that insane rant about how awful Derek Carr is, and then he fucking
no.
I just for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns.
He's also going to win the MVP, according to Eric.
Yeah, according to Eric. According to Aaron.
Aaron also, I think there was like a trade Tom Brady for Derek Carr thing in there too.
Straight up,
right?
Nah,
straight up.
Crazy.
Straight
up. Raiders at Bills. I'm going Bills.
Raiders.
Circle them wagons.
Raiders at Bills. You think Bills 5-2?
You think that the fucking MVP of the league?
He can still ball and still lose the game.
You think they beat Kansas City, but they lose to the Bills?
I'm going Raiders.
That was a
Raiders
crazy game.
That was a crazy game. They really got lucky, but
there's like 3 plays called back to win
with
that game.
zero time left on the clock.
I think I'm going with the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm taking the Raiders.
The Raiders.
Yeah.
Okay, Colts at the Bengals.
The Colts are going to lose, so
Bengals.
That's obviously the Bengals.
That's one way to put it. Who do you think's going to win? Well, the Colts are going to lose, so
I'm just not going to say it. So I can
just leave it open.
Write it in.
Let's leave that open.
Wait, did you guys pick?
No.
Yeah, I said Bengals.
Oh, I thought he was moving on to the next one. I was like, what the fuck?
Bears at the Saints.
Aaron has the Bengals, let the record state. I'm looking at the paper. I'm on to you, man.
What is it?
Bears
at the Saints.
I'm going Saints.
Bears at the Saints.
Saints at home. Bears are sneaky.
I'm putting all my faith in Alvin Kamara for this week in fantasy, so I'll ride with the Saints too.
There we go.
Falcons at the Jets.
Wait. Who did you pick?
I'm going Jets.
No. Stop.
He already said that I was going to go with the Saints.
Oh.
No, I said you were going with the Bengals.
Who did you pick
You're
for this?
trying to be a pick ahead. You think I'm a fucking pick ahead of you? No, I'm on to you.
Who are you picking for?
He has the Saints. He has the Saints.
I write them down.
Right.
Yeah, but you need to say it so that you can't
everyone
go back.
listens like, oh, Aaron didn't pick anybody this week. I wonder how he did.
Yeah.
Because then you call me
Do I have a
freaking
2-week
out.
lead?
You have a 2. It's 4-2-1.
All right.
Yeah. Not 4-1.
No, 4
4-2-1.
TWO.
TWO.
1.
But it's also 4-2-2-2-1.
Falcons
Right, stop that.
at the Jets.
Falcons
I'm
at
going
the
Jets. I'm going Jets.
Oh no!
Falcons.
No, now they're a broken.
Now they're so
team.
broken. Falcons go 0-4 in the AFC East.
They weren't broken when they played the Pats.
True.
But now they're a broken.
Now they're
team.
broken. Falcons go 0-4 against the AFC East.
I thought we were retiring Hot Take Dave.
No, No, the Falcons are broken.
No, but 0-4 against the AFC East.
They're 0-3.
Oh, they lost.
They lost to the
Miami.
Bills and the Dolphins and Patriots.
Oh, wow. This could happen.
Right? Hot
This
take
could
Dave.
happen.
Hot take Dave. Here we go. AFC East owns the Falcons. They are BROKEN.
You might be convincing him right.
I'm still. He almost did. I'm gonna go with the Falcons though.
Interesting.
I think
I find that to be interesting.
I think this is gonna be a get right game. I think the Jets will return to the Jets. Like I think
they are 3-4.
Yeah,
so.
but I think it'll be the
right.
they were at one
they
point.
They go 3-13.
Yeah,
from
they
on out.
are.
Yeah.
You don't think their offense is like gonna figure it out?
We're gonna settle back into
the Falcons.
Oh, the Falcons offense? Maybe.
Like I just think they're gonna have a better game than against the Pats.
What is Ryan 7-7 now? He had a pick against the Pats.
No
picks.
No picks.
He's
He almost
7-6.
had a pick.
He's 7-6.
Yeah, I think just when they
Think about that. You went from the MVP of the how good of a
talk about MVP drop offs. Who abducted Cam Newton?
yeah.
Fucking what alien had their way with him?
Well, there was like the 2 weeks, back-to-back weeks. He played the Patriots, and then he played another team.
Right.
And he looked like a fucking stud.
Wasn't it like the
against-
Saints or something like
Yeah,
that?
Might have been.
Yeah, he
and
balled out against
he
somebody.
just like balled out, and it was like,
I
oh,
don't
Cam
even
Newton's
mean-
back, and now he's.
I mean, that man had like a frontal lobotomy.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's really funny listening to a female talk about routes. And then, next question. And then just walk out of a press conference. He dresses like a buffoon. The guy is he's gone. Like, he's not there anymore. He's weird. He's in a weird place.
Also, I saw someone criticize a Carolina fan because they were like, I can't wait till Cam Newton is gone. And they were like, how is this a diehard fan? I was like, you could be critical of a team,
Right, yeah.
of your team,
Right.
and be a diehard fan.
Yeah, people want you to be a total Yahoo, and it's like,
I still want Derek Carr.
right, exactly, right. And
I still want Dan
came on-
Marino. I want him to walk through that door.
There are
I
a
came
lot
on
of
this
people-
podcast and said this Patriots team is not good. It's not that good right now.
Yeah,
Like, this team is not good. It's not talented. The talent is emerging. I was wrong, or you know what I mean. But at that week, they weren't good.
I'll eat my words. I'll eat the words from last week next week if they, like I said, if they do it twice, like Joe was saying, we just want consistency, show a little bit more.
Beat the Chargers,
Yeah.
that's going to be the game that really puts you guys over the thing. The
No,
Chargers.
but no, like you said, you got to get 2 weeks.
Oh, if
Get 2
his
weeks of
defense looks good,
Yeah, it starts looking good.
I mean, you should expect them to beat the Chargers though. Like the
Right.
Chargers
Oh,
are
yeah,
not a good
yeah,
team.
Yeah, right. True.
You just stuck the knife in them, Joe. God damn it!
Hey,
your fault.
if they lose because of that, you can play the grave dance music against me.
So, Niners at the Eagles.
I'm gonna go Eagles. Surprisingly enough,
Yeah,
hot
me
take
too.
Dave, taking
yeah.
a nap. I'm just gonna lay it out there. I'm going Eagles.
By the way,
easy.
I didn't say who I picked. I picked the Falcons. I waited till you made your pick.
Okay, cool. And I like that you put that on the record. And I really want to get the nickname Carson Wins going, but you guys don't seem to catch on. So,
Do you want me to like hashtag it, put it on Twitter?
Carson Wins. It's right there, and it's right there.
Just that.
It's so easy.
I'm gonna hashtag that, and then be like, then I'm gonna message Funko, be like, hey, you didn't give me the base to my Star Wars mystery mini that I tweeted at you about this morning.
What is this story about?
But I'm gonna put it in my tweet.
Okay, all right.
And then I'm just gonna put Carson Wins,
And then hashtag Carson Wins. All right,
and maybe I'll get an answer back.
that might work.
San Fran, beautiful city this time of year. They're
Yeah.
due for a win.
Philly is due for a loss.
Going with
too.
Philly. All that being said, the win won't be this week. It's gonna be Philly.
What? Let the record state. San Fran is due.
As beautiful segue from game before that we were talking about them. Panthers at the Bucks.
Who are the Bucks again? No, I'm just kidding.
Jameis who? Famous Jameis?
Just like I cannot believe last week I was listening back to the podcast. I was like, "This is crazy. Who are the Bucks?" I had so much basketball in the brain.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're
thinking
out of Florida.
I was thinking Milwaukee Bucks. I'm like, what
They're out of
Milwaukee
Florida.
football team is there? I couldn't process it.
Bucks.
The Bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
They're the
Panthers.
Brewers.
Bucks. Man.
I'm going Bucks. I just think that I don't
that
think
official?
what's his name can figure it out anymore.
Is it Panthers at the Bucks?
Yeah. So that's in Tampa Bay.
I'm going Panthers. As much as I think Cam Newton is,
I think he's dumb.
Like
He doesn't know
I'm
what
going,
he's doing anymore.
I'm going Tampa Bay.
I think it's really weird to hear Boston Sports Nerds podcast guys talking about Panthers and Buccaneers.
Swashbucklers.
Routes.
Texans at the Seahawks.
That's a good matchup.
No, it's not. Seahawks beat the doors off of them.
Okay. So that just totally ruined my mystery there. I'm going to go Texans.
I think we finally see a comeback to earth game for Deshaun Watson. Now that he's going to play like a fucking real defense.
Well, I was going to say that secondary is going to be like, let's see, young man.
Coming off a bye, Nuke Hopkins, Will Fuller the fifth. I'm into it.
In Seattle, too. That's tough.
It's a tough win.
For a rookie quarterback?
Tough win.
That loud
but
stadium. They're going to pump in some fog.
Mm-hmm.
That loud stadium, they'll be fine.
They're going to kill everyone in that stadium if they pump in some fog with the fucking the roof on.
I remembered what my I'm not mad at it is. But God. We'll keep going.
Seahawks, by the way.
Okay. Cool.
Cowboys at the Redskins. I'm taking the Skins.
I'm going Cowboys.
I'm going Skins.
Really?
Yeah.
Cowboys just like looks real good.
I don't
against the 49ers.
Yeah, against the 49ers.
Well, no.
With a rookie quarterback.
Valid. But they still played offense.
Yeah.
Did that really well.
The 49ers defense is like legit terrible.
Yeah,
like,
that's true. See, I don't like the Skins that much.
Every person who's run against.
See, I did.
I think
I'm losing a little.
This might be like one of the highest scoring games of the year. Like that's my prediction.
True.
I think it's going to be a straight up shootout. Like Denver's not scoring anytime soon. Dallas scores, Washington answers. Dallas scores, Washington answers. Dallas scores, Washington answers.
I don't think Denver's going to score on Monday night either.
Denver, yeah.
So this is the thing I want to talk to Dave about. So Steelers at the Lions.
Yep.
But the point is, did you see about what's her name, the fucking porn star that can't figure out that like athletes don't care about you?
Mia Khalifa.
Tweeting at what's his name?
Yeah,
Juju.
What is his name?
Was it Shoes?
He's like, miss me with all that. I know what you're about or something like that.
Like she tweeted at him like something, and he's like, "Yeah, no, I'm not down with this."
What's so funny is because she used to fucking embarrass people that slid into her DMs.
Yeah.
And then she's been hitting people up now too, and now they're like, nah, like just like there you go, whatever.
Like I saved my conversation with you when I told you no, I'm not interested in that beat up pussy.
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, that was an interesting.
The college kid said it to her too.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
There you go.
That's his name.
Smith-Schuster.
Also, are we going to talk about the fact that Martavis Bryant got demoted to the practice squad?
Yeah. That was the other thing.
Demanded a trade, and then Mike Tomlin said he's not going anywhere. Except for to the basement.
No, the real thing of events was demanded a trade.
Yeah.
The Steelers came out and said we're going to involve him more in the game plan.
Right.
Next week game
tweets about his teammates.
He gets one catch for 3 yards.
Mm-hmm.
After the game, Instagram comments. Some guy's like Juju's better than you. Mm-hmm. He was like, no way is Juju better than me.
Right.
Something. Gets demoted to the practice squad.
So does that mean he's on the practice like the what is it, the scout team roster?
Scout team
roster. So I think another team can sign him.
That's what I was going to say.
There,
if
right?
I don't.
If he's on the scout team, like if he's not on the active roster,
he's on the scout team. But he's not on the practice squad.
Okay, I was going to say if
he was a practice squad player, then they could sign. Someone else could sign.
If the Giants didn't jump at that,
really.
Like if he ends up on the practice squad, sign that man.
No, he's on.
I don't think they can even do that. Right, because you signed him to a contract. Like, I don't think you just be like, "Oh, we're going to destroy your contract," and because you have to sign someone to the practice squad.
Yeah, I know what I'm saying.
I think it's like under a certain age too.
Yeah,
you can demote them to the practice squad.
Right.
He's young.
Yeah, but I don't think they can. Just
I think you have to be. I almost think you have to be
on
on your rookie contract for them to do that.
That probably makes sense.
Maybe.
And I don't think he is.
That might be true. I don't know. No, Martavis Bryant might be on his rookie
contract.
He
might be actually.
He might be.
Did they re-sign him before the year?
I get him in. Who's the guy that's in Emmanuel Sanders mixed up? Because Emmanuel Sanders
is definitely not his
rookie contract, but I can't remember who got. I know Sanders got his deal. I can't remember Bryant did. But
sorry, I segued us off.
No, that's
on the Steelers.
Topical. Yeah.
Steelers or the Lions? I'm going Lions because they're at home.
I'm going to go Lions also.
Steelers have the number 1 pass defense in the NFL.
I know. It's going to have
That
to see.
being said, the Lions will not score any points until the fourth quarter, and then they'll win.
Yeah.
Because that's how the Lions play football.
That's also true. Big week for Abdullah this week.
You think? The Steelers do also, while they have a very good pass defense,
Have a horrible run defense.
have not a very good run defense.
Right.
Broncos at the Chiefs. Monday Night Football.
Broncos at the Chiefs.
I'm going to go Chiefs.
I mean,
I think they're on a downslide, but
after I saw the Broncos' offense the past 2 weeks, I have to go Chiefs. I have to go Chiefs.
They at least played good against the fucking Oakland.
that was a good. They should have won that game.
No, I know, but my point is, like, they played against Oakland. What's his name? Still hasn't thrown a fucking interception. Probably going to jinx him now. But the Broncos,
Get Brady MVP.
they can't figure it out either.
Right.
Didn't they get shut out last week?
The Broncos
wasn't
got
good.
shut out last week for the first time since 1994.
Wow. Take that for data.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well played. That's it for all the games?
Yeah, that's it, man.
All
Because
right.
there's like, what is it, like 6 teams?
6 teams on bye.
Yeah, 6 teams on bye. Yeah, what'd you call it? The Bipocalypse?
Bipocalypse. 6 teams on bye this week, 6 teams on bye next week.
Yeah, geesh. That's brutal.
I mean, saves room on my paper.
Including the Patriots.
Oh,
right?
that's right. Yeah, next week.
Next
Yeah,
week?
yeah. Yep. All right, so we can move on to the Celtics real quick. Just, I guess we'll touch base a little bit. How do you think they're playing? What do you this is just kind of an
What's their
opinion-based thing.
record,
There's
2
not
and
much story. I believe they're 3-2 right now. 2-2. 2-2.
Jaylen Brown is the greatest player ever.
He's balling, man.
That's,
He's balling.
He's the second coming of Jordan.
That's a loud statement.
He is going to go down in the history books as the greatest Celtic to ever live.
Hot take, Joe. I dig it. I like it.
All that being said, that is ridiculous, but he is playing, like I said about Jonathan Jones,
Yeah,
he's playing out of his head.
right.
Like-
Tice Talk, per 36 so far this season, 17 points, 10 rebounds. Per 36.
What is he
Why aren't they
averaging
giving
per
him
game?
30?
Averaging a
What's he
game?
averaging per game, Dave?
Tice per game.
I don't want his per 36.
Well, you can't really grade
if he's
him
not
based
playing
on minutes.
36, come on.
He's got 6 points and 1 rebound.
That's what he averages?
Yep, but he only averages 12 minutes a game.
Didn't he have 6 points and 1 rebound in the first game?
Yeah,
So he's just done that every game?
he just does that every time. That's it. That is what he
6
does.
points, 1 rebound.
But per 36, 17-10, also interesting fact about Tice Talk before we wrap that up would be that he, per 36, averages 7 fouls a game. So he would foul out almost twice, or at least 1.5 times in a game.
I'm okay with
so
that.
there's that.
I'm okay with
There's that.
So let him play 36.
Let him play 36
Is what I'm
minutes.
hearing.
Right.
I
He
saw
needs
an
more
interesting
minutes.
article about letting Al Horford play point guard.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Why not? So remember I told you that I thought he would lead the team in assists, which he doesn't. But he's not far
doesn't.
off. He's second on the team in
Yeah, but,
assists.
I mean, he doesn't, but we're talking about a center power forward.
Right.
Like,
yeah, a big guy.
Yeah.
I'm talking about an NBA big.
yeah. This
Yeah.
dude's like 7 feet tall.
He couldn't play point guard.
The
But
article legit.
here's the interesting thing. Like,
the
so
headline
how
was like,
how did you
Al
define
Horford
point
should
guard?
play point guard.
How do you define point guard?
A Philadelphia.
Right, because this kind of brings me back to the thing. Like, Ben Simmons brings the ball up. Ben Simmons runs the offense. Ben Simmons doesn't defend the point guard. And you said he's not the point guard. He's not going to defend the point guard.
Yeah.
So if that's what makes the point guard, then based on who you play defensively, then sure, no. But Ben Simmons is the offensive point guard.
I still think that's how you define who the point guard
So
is.
based on who they defend.
It's based on how the other team views you. Like,
But you don't control.
no,
the other team doesn't control who you choose
like
to defend.
who the
with.
other team's point guard is going to match up on is who the point guard is. Like,
Right.
when I look at the roster
Yeah.
for the Philadelphia 76ers, these goddamn trust the process losers,
Right.
I go,
Not going well so far.
yeah, because the process is a piece of shit.
Okay. All right.
I
I
go,
don't think Ben Simmons is playing bad, though, is he?
I go,
No.
hey, Lonzo Ball, my point guard, you're going to cover Markelle Fultz, the point guard.
All right. I get it. 76ers are 1-4 to start the season.
That's like LeBron brings the ball up all the time.
Right.
Like now there's like this whole thing like LeBron's playing point guard.
Right. But it's like point forward is what they call it. Yeah. It's like a new position.
But Magic Johnson played point guard.
But he was the point guard.
But I'm saying he played point guard.
Right.
Yeah, but he was just a huge point guard. Like he
but
was.
That's what Ben Simmons is. Ben Simmons is a 6'10" Magic Johnson.
He's a small forward.
But that would mean Magic was a small forward.
But if you have the advantage of going, hey, we're going to put him on the court. He's going to be our...
I just don't feel like when I watch Ben Simmons play, he doesn't feel like a point guard to me. Do you know what?
Because he's 6'10".
Not even just that. Like Magic Johnson felt like a point guard.
Right. Ben Simmons controls the ball though. Like he controls the offense.
He just doesn't feel like a point guard. Also, I don't trust the process, so I don't like agreeing with anything that they say.
Have you been hearing like a lot of people bitching and moaning about how like Irving's not like overly excited about these? Like, it's 4 games in. Like really to lose your shit about how good Tatum played in one game or Brown, right. It's like, yeah, he's happy the guys that probably should have been coming off the bench are playing well because the guy that he was super excited about that he cried about when he fucking hurt his leg isn't playing.
People are upset that Irving is excited?
He's not excited enough. Oh. He doesn't get excited when they interview him.
He's not like the Isaiah type.
People are calling in EI all the time and going, he's too cocky. He's not humble.
It's like told a fan to suck his dick and he's getting fined and all this. So it's just like, whatever. I don't care about that stuff.
What fan was it?
It was they were playing against they're playing against the Knicks. I believe it was that night against the Knicks. And someone, I don't know, I can't remember. But someone just yells to him, "Hey, where's LeBron?" And he goes, "Suck my dick." And that was it.
I mean,
such a great response.
But here's the thing: any of us did that,
right?
Like it's just
like
that's what you do.
No problem.
But the thing is, he came here he wasn't expecting the team to be awful. Why would he be excited about them playing good in the first 5 games of the year?
Right. And I mean, what is he supposed to say? Like, oh my God. Wow, that guy scored 20 points tonight. And
also, it's 5 games in. He was gushing about Boston like 2 seconds after he showed up here.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I feel great here. Like, this is the place I wanted to be.
I feel like Irving's a little offset with himself right now because
he's trying to figure it out.
Hasn't been great. Right. And he's needed, I think he's a little like, yeah, we got to play better. And they're 2-2. Like, they're not like they're 4-0 and they're blowing everybody out. And there's not much at the time up until the interview they were talking about. They're 1-2. Also, like a losing record. So
Jaylen Brown is not having like a good game here or there.
He's
Jaylen Brown is
every night
your best player.
Yeah, he's your leading scorer.
That's crazy. So good. He's the second leading scorer on the team. Kyrie Irving has 20 points per game, and Jaylen Brown is averaging 18.8.
Oh, so he's not the leading scorer.
Not the leading scorer. He's second on the team, but.
So Kyrie Irving is your leading scorer?
Kyrie's your leading scorer.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get 18 points out of Jaylen Brown for the year, that's...
Right, yeah. Right. And that's where
it sucks losing Gordon Hayward, is because if you could get 18 points out of Jaylen Brown and you still had Gordon Hayward on this roster, it's like, fuck.
I like Jaylen Brown at the 2 guard more than Avery Bradley.
Yeah.
Like, I would rather have Jaylen Brown playing 2 right now.
Oh, I still miss Avery Bradley, but I would be.
You're okay with it now?
If Jaylen Brown is going to score, like I wasn't expecting a jump like this.
No. Yeah, I'm with you there.
You know what I mean? I thought he was a good scorer. I thought he was, but I didn't think he was that good of a shooter. Which he's still not that good of a shooter.
Right.
But wasn't.
He can slice it and get.
I was
at will.
I was expecting like a 12 points per game average from Jaylen Brown.
Right.
Like 12 points, 6 or 7 rebounds. What I was expecting.
Who does he remind you most of?
Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, like who's like his.
I contend that Tatum reminds me of Carmelo Anthony. Like the way.
I think Tatum reminds me of Pierce a lot.
The way he played. Well, yeah, Pierce and Carmelo kind of play similarly.
Kind of the same. Yeah. That's true.
But I think the difference is like you never watch Pierce and go, man, he just hogs that fucking ball.
Yeah, well, Pierce was like a quieter, more.
That's what I mean.
Right.
But I'm talking about the
actual play execution one.
Like Tatum gets that ball, man, and if he puts his back to you, there's literally nothing you can do.
His 17-foot turnaround jumper is cash. It's just like Paul Pierce's crossover step back jumper from the elbow. It's like the same shot.
The whole thing you heard about Tatum coming out of college was his ISO game is ridiculous. It's the same thing about Carmelo.
Right.
His ISO game, that's why Carmelo has the reputation of a ball hog, is because he's best when he's got the ball and he's isolated by himself. He's one-on-one with the defender. He puts his back to that defender, and now there's nothing you can do. He's either going to blow by you on like a spin move.
Yeah.
Or he's gonna fade away from the hoop and hit that jumper, and he was great at it. And it's the same kind of play with Tatum.
I think this team is executing so perfect with the way that they're structured right now. Kyrie Irving's your best player, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Leads the team in scoring. Who's the second best player on the team, do you think?
It's got to be Brown.
Right now, right?
Yeah,
Jaylen Brown.
Like if we're going based upon the 4 games we've seen.
How's Horford's stats?
Now, let me get there. Jaylen Brown, probably the second best player on the team, second on the team in scoring. Jason Tatum, probably third best scorer on the team, right? Third in the team.
And
points.
he's been good rebounding too.
He's averaging 8 rebounds a game.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Jason Tatum's at 15. If you round up the decimal points, 14.8 and 7.8. So he's 15 and 8
as your 3. He's playing 3, right?
He's playing the 3. Right?
Yeah, that's.
Al Horford is 13 and 8 or 13 and 9. Average Al.
Yeah,
that's all you need.
What's he got for assists?
He's second on the team with 4.3 assists per game.
From your big
guy, right? Yeah. He's going to lead. He led all big men in assists last year. He's going to do that again easily. And then so Al Horford's your 4th best scorer.
Yeah.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Then Marcus Smart, your other starter.
Yeah.
When he's playing, he's injured right now, is 5th, and then Terry Rozier, your 6th man, is the 6th most points.
I love Terry Rozier. I love Terry Rozier.
You're telling me that kid has got it.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. He's worked so much on his game, dude. It's crazy.
My dad hates Marcus Smart, like with a passion.
A lot of people do.
Hates him. Like he was like, I would feel much better if they got rid of him right now.
And just played Rozier?
Yeah.
Because they do a lot of Rozier playing point, Kyrie playing 2 guard. They do a lot of that.
I was like, you don't think like effort or he's like, no, I think he's an idiot. I think he flops too much. I don't even like the way he plays defense. Like I just don't. He doesn't like. He's like.
So he's big baby Glenn Davis.
He thinks he's a shooter when he's not a shooter.
Not a shooter.
It's just like
Glenn Davis.
He hates him.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
Hates him.
He's like the Celtics version of a smaller Celtics version of Draymond Green.
Yeah.
He's a guy that sometimes you're watching him like, no. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like every time he does something, you're like, no, don't do that. Oh, great play, Marcus.
But that's like when we were talking about how he was like posting up and he was just like, I hate when he does that shit. Just like fucking give the ball to someone who can actually play basketball.
It's tough. A lot of people don't like him. They didn't like the pick coming out because they were disappointed that they fell to 6th or 4th or whatever, whatever that was. And that was supposed to be either Jabari Parker or Andrew Wiggins.
I thought he was a steal at 6.
I thought so too.
At the time, I was like, oh wow, Marcus Smart was really good in college.
He was one of the top 4 coveted players. It was Julius Randle, Wiggins, Parker, and Smart.
I've had some wild like ideas on who people should draft. Like terrible. Yeah. I saw a tweet the other day that I tweeted in 2013. Like, if the Pats don't draft Louis Nix with their first round pick.
Right.
I'm going to be so, like, Louis Nix isn't even in the league anymore.
You know who I was really high on? And they kept trading away. It was the same year they were trading away from Des Bryant.
Yeah.
And I was like, Ray Malaluka's out there. Ray Malaluka's fucking out there. Get him. And now it's like,
Louis Nix is like a defensive tackle for Notre Dame.
Right.
Who I'm almost positive he's not on a team. Like, I don't think he's in the league.
He might not be.
And I was like, fucking Belichick and his love of Florida. So who did they take? It must have been
that was Dominique Easley.
Yeah. So like
that didn't really.
Well, Dominique Easley wasn't bad when he was here, but he
couldn't stay healthy.
He lost his mind. Is what it was. He fucking went crazy.
Oh well, he was drafted with 2 torn ACLs. And then came back. He played
good.
And then came back, played, and then he did play well. And then he tore his ACL again. And then he came back and played well again. And then it was just like
he was like a locker room problem.
Yeah, they just went off the radar.
Yeah, where did he end up? Arizona is what I heard.
Is he in Arizona?
Or
Seattle.
No. He's with the Rams.
Rams.
Yeah,
he's playing next to.
Is he playing? I think he may be playing.
He was playing next to.
No, but
Donald.
I think he's like he plays.
Yeah, Aaron Donald.
Like a bench guy.
Yeah, I think you have Aaron Donald and him are your 2 defensive tackles.
I need someone to tweet me or post on the Facebook like where Louis Nix is right now.
Yeah, if we can get the Louis Nix update, that'd be great.
Like I was like upset, like no, Louis Nix is the pick. You got to take Louis Nix.
Right. That's funny. But yeah, if you go back and look at some of the Celtics drafting, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart right now, 3-year top 5 scorers.
Terry Rozier, where was he picked?
Oh God, that's a fucking good question.
He was like 16, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, that's a
they
good
took
question.
Terry Rozier in the same draft as Marcus Smart, right? Or the year after?
I think it was the year after.
The year after. Because I remember when they drafted him and everyone, I think it was like in the teens.
Could be.
And everyone was like, "This is Marcus Smart. You just drafted Marcus Smart."
We drafted the same guy. Right?
Yeah,
yeah. That's true.
Was he from Texas?
Washington?
Me in college.
Doesn't it say like
not right
top?
here? It doesn't. No, not. It's loading. So
I
don't know. It doesn't matter.
I like the Celtics. I think they're going to be fine. They're going to be good. They'll be, like I said, I still think they're the numbers. Although Cleveland has looked like
suspect.
Yeah, they've been losing.
Well, they're hurt.
They've been losing.
They're wildly hurt.
They've been losing like weird games to teams they shouldn't. Like I know they're hurt, but you still have LeBron. So
you have the greatest play.
LeBron made the playoffs with awful Cleveland teams. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess he would still make the playoffs, but he probably wouldn't be a 1 seed.
Rozier went to Louisville, and he was the 16th pick in the 2015 draft. So that would be...
Yeah, after Marcus Smart.
That's the Jaylen Brown draft, right? No, the year before.
Yeah.
That wasn't Marcus Smart. That was...
It was in between Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown, right?
There was someone else in there. Marcus Smart was 2 years before Jaylen Brown. Was that it? Was Terry Rozier their first pick that draft?
No, yeah. They had a pick in the teens. They didn't have like
a they could you
early
right.
pick.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that feels weird to me, but yeah, you're right.
I think
because I think that's the year they were trying to trade up and get that fucking guy out of Frank Kaminsky. From
he plays for the Hornets.
He might be on the Hornets now. He was drafted by Chicago.
He plays for the Hornets.
Yeah, he plays for the Hornets now.
But yeah, the Celtics will be fine. Cleveland they got blown out by Orlando, and they lost to the Nets after LeBron bricked like 2 free throws.
Hey, your Nets, your Brooklyn Nets, right now.
Trade the pick.
Looking good. They did. They already did.
Oh yeah, that's right for Kyrie. Yeah.
Yeah, they're 3-2. I'm telling you, they're going to be competing for that 8th seed.
I'm glad they traded that pick.
Me too. But yeah, I mean, obviously it's only been a week of basketball. I should be doing a podcast with Mike Dyer, who works for a bunch of Celtics websites, and he did a little behind-the-scenes stuff for some TV networks in the area. We're going to kind of go over early Celtics impressions, what to expect or whatever, so that should be this week. But yeah, I just was curious what you guys thought. You know what I mean? What we've seen so far. I think it's promising. I mean, at 2-2, a little tough, but still early in the year.
It's kind of...
Oh, did you do your I'm not mad at it?
I have not done my I'm not mad at it.
All right.
I still have it, though.
All right.
So, I think all we got left is
the Sox.
Sox, right? I mean, because the Bruins are still doing the same.
Bruins they're just, it's tough. Offensively, they're playing well.
Yeah.
Like, they're actually scoring goals. They're aggressive. Brad Marchand is he's the smaller guy. For whatever reason, he can like go into a corner and just somehow like magically come out with the puck for whatever reason. And they're letting the young guys play. The only problem is you have Krejci's hurt, Bergeron's hurt, like all these guys that you're like you count on every year to be your stud players. Like Bergeron, like if you want a guy that's going to win you a face-off, it's Bergeron. Like he's the guy no matter what. And he's the guy a lot of teams in the league are going to be like, we'd love to have him win us some fucking face-offs.
Yeah. So Bergeron, like well known as like one of the best face-off guys.
He is, and he's a tough motherfucker. He's the one that had to like punctured like I think it was like punctured liver or kidney or something. Lung.
Haven't they been scoring a lot since they fired?
Yes,
Claude Julien, isn't
their offense is totally revamped. Yeah,
but you also like we're talking about like your star goalie's hurt.
Yeah,
you're also
star goalie.
He's considered a star goalie in
he hasn't
NHL.
Stood on his head in a long time.
No, but in the
that's
NHL,
how we measure goalies.
But the way they talk about him in the NHL, he is considered one of the upper echelon. Yes, he's also from Finland. Ryan Spooner is another offensive weapon you're missing. Like these are key pieces that you're missing out on. Also, McQuaid's out.
The team probably plays better when Bergeron is there too, because he's like the guy in the middle, isn't he?
He's a center. Yeah, he's really good, and he's a
good two-way player.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's one of those guys. Like when you talk about like guy that comes in and brings tempo, he's one of those guys. Like he sets the tempo.
And Krejci's a defenseman, correct?
No, Krejci's another center. He's actually usually he's usually your first center. And that's another thing is they're talking about, like, is it time to start looking at getting rid of Krejci because he just consistently either underperforms in the past couple of years or he's hurt. Do you start looking for the younger or a better option? Start getting out from underneath his contract.
Yeah.
I know you guys don't really follow it that much, and it's not not that many games into the season. It's I was gonna say this is the same thing as the Celtics.
Right.
It's hard to look at, like, you're looking at, like, I think you're looking at 7 games.
Right.
Essentially.
82 game season.
Or 8 games, or I think it's like 7 or 8 games. It's really not that easy to look at that. Give it a month.
Right.
And then we can talk about it.
Yeah.
I will really very, very loosely follow hockey until it's playoff time.
Same here.
Once again, Dave and I have always said greatest playoff
of everything.
Of everything.
Yeah, for sure.
And I still contend hockey is the best live sport.
It is. Oh, it is.
Also agreed. Yep.
Yeah, there's no, like, hey, let's take a TV timeout so you can get people off the field. No, it's jump over the fucking sideboards into the ice.
For me, this is my own personal preference. I like hockey, basketball, baseball, football.
Football.
Live?
Football has the best TV product. I think it's the worst live product.
It's the worst live product.
I think it depends on where you sit. Like I said, where I sat I'll preface it this, it was a fucking horrible, like, game. I went and saw the fucking Steelers Jets.
Yeah.
Where I sat, it was fun, and it was like, it's a good, like, where I was, I could see the game.
Yeah,
it didn't feel like I was, like, not.
I think pre-gaming, tailgating is fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you can do that at all the other sports.
Even like partying after is fun, but like I would rather be on my couch and watch games.
I think the at-home experience is so much better for the NFL
You can get so much closer.
It's just a better, like,
you
see all the multiple angles and
right, the commentary.
Yeah, you get the commentary. It's like, well, I would rather go watch the live game this week than listen to fucking Fouts and Ian Eagle.
Oh God,
commentate.
That's gonna be brutal.
Isn't Dan Fouts? Did he play for the Chargers? At one point?
Yeah, he was a Chargers quarterback.
Yeah, so what
perfect.
the fuck?
Yeah, that'll be good.
Seriously? Like, that's the guy they're going to pick? He hates the Pats already.
Right. It's a fucking CBS guy, man.
It's okay. I'm okay with it.
But, every game.
So, the Red Sox have a new manager.
Red Sox.
Ba, ba, ba. So good, so good, so good.
I've had enough of it. Okay,
come on, Dave.
Turn it down all the way.
I've had enough of it.
Jesus,
right?
Dave.
Jesus. You guys gotta get over yourselves.
Their new manager.
Yeah. Alex Cora.
No.
Former Seattle Mariners.
It's not Alex.
It is Alex.
No, it's Josie.
It's Josie Cora.
Josie Cora.
Not how you say his name.
It is.
It is Alex Cora.
No.
Former Seattle Mariners.
It is Jose Alexander Cora. That is his true full name.
Yeah, you said it right this time.
So it's Josie.
No.
Josie.
See, I think you guys are emphasizing the J.
Accent?
It's more of an H.
There's an accent over the S.
E.
Over the S.
Over the E.
So it's Josie.
So you roll it like an R. So it's Jorge.
No, it's over the E. So I think that makes it Josie.
No. That's the hard J sound is the problem there. It's more of an H.
Josie. I don't know. Like.
The
Sloppy Joe.
The thing over the E,
Sloppy Joes,
the thing
right?
over the
Hard
E
J.
turns it into an A sound, and then the J.
Jose.
No,
Jose.
Right, you're close.
Can you name me?
But stop with the hard J. Make it more of an H.
Can you name me a word that starts with J that has a soft H?
Jalapeno.
Nice, well done. Also, a Spanish word.
Yeah. And no one, if you say jalapeno.
Yeah, jalapenos. I once went to a Navigators game back in the day. Now it was the Connecticut Tigers. And my buddy didn't know. Like, he wasn't trying to be funny. He says, "Hey, can I get a hot dog?"
Also, fajita?
Fajita. Yeah, but
that's vagina.
Another Spanish word.
Yeah, also, Jose? Spanish name. Little known fact.
Nah, I don't know. Josie?
Oh, no,
it's
not
Josie.
Saying it right.
You said it's Jose.
Jose.
Nope. I
Jose.
said the E The E
with an accent.
With an accent is you pronounce with an A sound, and then
so
the J.
Jose.
Then the J is a soft H.
Yeah, but there's no doohickey above the
Nope,
J.
doesn't need to be.
I'm looking for a doohickey.
Nope. The doohickey above the E. The doohickey above the E changes that and the J.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
I don't see a doohickey above the J. I can't do it.
You don't need one.
It's Jose.
You don't need one because it's above the E.
So Jose Alexandra
Nope, I don't.
Cora.
That's not even the manager because you didn't say his name right.
All right, so this has been the Red Sox talk. Alex Cora is the new manager. You like it? Great.
Dave was so confident I wasn't going to come up with a word that had a soft H. I was like, yeah, jalapeno. Dave.
Well, we'll play it. Oh yeah, so my buddy, he says, hey, let me get a hot dog, no jalapenos, and they were like, okay. They didn't get it either.
Yeah.
And he wasn't trying to be funny. He just thought that was the word. So he gets a hot dog. They give him jalapenos, obviously. And he's like, hey, I said no jalapenos. And they're like, yeah, we don't know what the fuck that means. And he was like, these fucking things. He was so mad, right? He was like plucking them and throwing them at the people like, these fucking things. This is what I'm talking about. They're like, those are jalapenos, asshole. And I turn him like, Ryan. And I'm trying to tell him, like, Ryan, those are jalapenos, not jalapenos, turd, And he's like, these fucking things. He was all torqued.
He was throwing jalapenos at people?
He was pissed because they went back and forth like, hey, no jalapenos. Like, yeah, we don't know what that is. He's like, the fucking jalapenos. And they're like, what the fuck is a jalapeno? And he's like, fucking these things.
Can I have a chicken fajita?
Chicken vagina.
That's what I order.
It's a fajita.
FDCBA. What grade do you give the Red Sox for the Alex Cora hiring?
I'm giving him a strong B+.
Okay. What could they have done better?
I just don't know. I mean, he's never managed a team before,
right?
So,
and he's only been a bench coach once.
So, what could they have done better?
You could have hired a manager with more experience, I guess.
So you want a Brad Ausmus, or not Brad Ausmus? Gardenhire.
Fuck yeah.
I don't know. I don't know much about him.
Gardenhire used to be the Timberwolves, the Minnesota Twins. I cannot get my sports straight. The Minnesota Twins manager back when they won 6 division titles, and then was the Twins manager up until like a year ago. Also, the guy that cut David Ortiz.
I would rather them hire Alex Cora, but with more experience.
There you go, future Alex Cora.
So,
yeah.
So I'm gonna say C+.
C+.
What could they have done better?
Once again, I will give them a fucking A- if they trade away the fucking.
I didn't ask about their offseason acquisitions. I just asked as the management hiring.
No, that's what that plays into it. Like if
he doesn't make that call.
No, I know he doesn't, but I'm saying he's going to be on the team if you have that black hole in your locker room,
racist,
and you're not gonna. I'm talking about fucking Dustin Pedroia.
Hey, you didn't clarify before you made the comment, so
fuck you both. You both know who I was talking about because you
typical
both
Boston sports fan.
Black
we got the fucking laser show and the lazy show over here. You both,
True, yeah.
No, if you get rid of him, I'll be okay with it. If you don't, I have a serious issue with that.
But why would what Dombrowski does from this point forward alter how you feel about them hiring Alex Cora?
Because I think him being on the team is going to alter your locker room.
Well, he's not going to play until June anyway. Right?
No, I know, but he'll still be in the locker room. You know how it's going to be, especially now that
chicken and beer.
It's going to be that all over again.
You're going to be disappointed then.
Yeah, probably true.
I think
I will be extremely disappointed with our offseason.
Dustin Pedroia is going to be there because he played with Alex Cora.
I think he's going to be off the bench.
And I think they were buddies. So
do you think Alex Cora could also? Side note,
I don't think Dombrowski.
Do you think he could come in and be like, "Listen, I'm going to pinch hit here."
Right.
Like
I'm
calling. You have to wear. They make him wear a fucking uniform.
Right.
He just comes out there and he's like, "Listen, I'm going to still do it."
He can just list himself on the active 45-man roster, and also me. Hey, I'm suited up.
Last game of the World Series, me. He just writes in his literally me.
I made the World Series roster.
So I'm guessing by your response to both of ours, you give them an A.
I'm giving them an A. I don't think there was a better hire out there.
I wasn't.
I think you. Go ahead. Sorry.
I wasn't going based on what else was out there, so maybe that's on me.
Skewed that up.
I was just going by
that a little bit.
I was just going by the overall hire, not based on who else was out there.
Yeah.
The only way you could have gotten a better hire is if the guy had managerial experience.
Right.
Which, like you're saying,
right.
the pool was limited, so that's pretty much impossible. Mm-hmm. But
yeah,
I would rather Alex Cora than Gardenhire. So then they win. You know what I mean? To me, like, you know what I mean? If you want experience, well, then you have Gardenhire.
Also,
and if you want something different than a guy that's just like John Farrell, then it's Alex Cora.
Although the reports on Alex Cora
are real high.
Yeah, everyone loves him. Mm-hmm. He's well respected everywhere he goes. Very intense.
Yeah,
is what they say.
Yeah.
He better be.
Very intense.
In that locker room, they need that.
Right.
You have a lot of young players.
A lot of reports are that he's a very intense person.
I really hope that Dombrowski stops traveling with the team.
Yeah.
Because he's in the locker room every day when Farrell was there.
Yeah.
And Lou Maloney was talking about it, your worst enemy. And he was saying that that's very uncomfortable as a player because it's like Dombrowski, like at the time, if Duquette walked in, the card game stops. You know what I mean? Like, they're getting ready, getting loose for the game, how you'd be hanging out after the game, whatever. It's not like, oh, the boss is here. You know what I mean? Like, okay, whatever. And he's like, that's just tense. It's fucking tense. Like, you don't get to create a family atmosphere or a friendship vibe.
How many games you play, you need to have the ability to unwind or still stay loose.
Mm-hmm. Or you could even...
And I wonder if that was a Farrell thing or if that's a Dombrowski thing. Because if it's a Farrell thing and he sees, like, the Dennis Eckersley situation go on, and then he's just sort of like, yeah, I'm going to make sure my presence is felt every day. You know what I mean? Like, if it's that type of feel, I get it. But if it's a Dombrowski, hey, my dick is this fucking long, I'm going to be here all the time, I don't love that.
Well, what
you
if
could still travel with the team.
What if it is? You never seen him in the locker room?
He's well put together.
Yeah, he looks just he looks all of Australia.
You could travel with the team still, just try and keep your distance.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Just like, hey,
you don't have to be in the dugout or in the locker room or whatever, the clubhouse or whatever all the time or whatever. So yeah, I mean, go to the games, sit in the box, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, sure, like watch your team. I got no problem with that. But like Robert Kraft goes everywhere. You know what I mean? Like I don't have a problem with that. But it's always like he's in there for the post-game celebration, and then he's out. You know what I mean? Like, hey, great game, boys. He gives them all a hug and a kiss, and then he's gone or whatever. But it's not like, okay, so let me hear your what's your post-game? Like, what are you going to say to these guys now? You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know how involved that is.
Here's the other thing.
That's kind of intimidating.
To talk about, like, kind of stay with what you were saying, if he's going in the locker room to kind of, like, make sure things, you have a manager that's never managed before.
Right. And maybe
I'm not saying that you should do that,
right?
But that's like that could play into it. Hey, he's never managed before.
He is a long-time player, though. He had played 13, 14 seasons. I think
14.
He played from 98 to 2011. He finished his career with the Nationals.
Mm-hmm. So he played for a while. So he understands the game of baseball, obviously, and he was a bench coach.
Yeah,
which means he knows how to
for 1 year
to manage people. Mm-hmm. And a well-respected bench coach.
Well, really, the bench coach manages the game.
Yeah, for a very good team.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
he might win the World Series in his first year as bench coach, which the bench coach is the one that says, "Hey, manager, we should probably put this guy in right now. He's pitching his ERA against right-handed guys. He's the info guy."
Yeah.
And then the manager has final say. So the bench coach goes one of two ways. Either
he's like the offensive coordinator, kind of.
He's done a really bad job, and the manager of the Houston Astros is brilliant, right? Mm-hmm. Like, he could be saying, hey, put this guy in. And the guy's like, fucking no. Why? You know what I mean? Like, no. Or he's giving great info, and it's working. Now, when a team fails and they blame the bench coach, like a lot of people said, who was the guy that was the Red Sox bench coach that was the interim coach for a while when Farrell was out with cancer?
Oh,
he wound up becoming the Diamondbacks manager.
No.
Terry Lavello.
Yeah.
Terry Lavello.
I was right. Damn it.
Terry Lavello was the bench coach for a bad team, and they were like, well, you don't really know. But then they started winning with him.
Yeah.
And they were like, that shows that John Farrell's a worse manager because he's obviously not doing the things that Terry Lavello thinks works. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So if the bench coach is doing if the team's bad, you don't know, is the bench coach giving bad? He's the Diamondbacks manager.
Terry Lavello?
Yeah. Yeah. So if a team's bad, you don't know if the bench coach is the one saying, hey, do this, and the manager's like, okay, yeah, and then it's dumb, or is the manager?
The Diamondbacks made the playoffs? I think they did.
Maybe.
I think they lost in the first round.
I would say they might have been the wild card team.
Could be. That might be true.
But
so if you're John Farrell, just like, I was awful compared to Terry Lavello because he took the Diamondbacks to the playoffs.
Fucking playoffs, right? So I think Alex Cora, the bench coach thing, is an interesting knock or promise. Maybe, you know what I mean? It's an unknown right now.
I think what, like Joe said, it's the experience thing. It's not even like, okay, he's a bench coach. Yeah, for 1 year.
Right.
Granted, they're in the fucking World Series. I am not downplaying that.
Yeah.
He also won a World Series with you in 2007. Like, he's been he knows, he's seen how to win. I think that's a big thing that some people forget.
Yeah.
Is that, like, there's some players when they talk about Brady and stuff, like, how do you prepare for a game? Like, if you've been there before, you tend to be able to have a little bit of knowledge in how to, like, keep it loose, keep it comfortable, not let the power of the game play down to you.
Right. So, to counterpoint my own point of, like,
okay. All right.
The only thing I wish is that they hired a guy with a little bit more experience. If you're gonna hire a coach with no experience, hiring a guy who played in the MLB, not in the minor leagues, in the MLB for 13 or 14 seasons, and has a year of as a bench coach, for a very good team under his belt, there are worse.
There's definitely worse candidates.
Coaching hires with no experience than that.
I also think being a player in Boston media,
and he played in Boston,
right. So he's a little familiar with how it goes. Like this is going to end ugly, and I'm sure he knows that because managers don't just like, all right, I bid you a farewell adieu, my friend, and then it goes. It's every time there's a smear campaign. Francona, fucking buried, great, Bobby Valentine, whatever that was. John Farrell ran out of town. I'm sure the stories are going to start coming out soon. You know what I mean? That's all.
Pedroia is going to be riding that wagon.
Grady Little dragged through the mud after winning 95 and 93 games for the Boston Red Sox. Left one pitcher in for too long. Got to the ALCS. You know what I mean? Got to Game 7 of the ALCS and then got fired in his second year after winning 95 and 93 games, which is crazy. And then Jimmy Williams the year before that. The managers in Boston don't end well. You know, so this is not going to be a good ending for him. But
to stay on baseball, Yankees fucking fired their manager.
Joe Girardi's available.
No, I'm saying that like you picked up Cora.
Right.
Now who's left?
Right. Oh, it's like the fucking Phillies, and that's it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like who's left to pick up?
No, Mets hired someone.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like who's there? Who's left on the market for them to go out and get?
The Mets coach has the most baseball name of all time, Mickey Callaway. Tell me that's not
that sounds more like a golf name.
Well, you're just saying that because of Callaway.
Yeah,
well, that's also true.
But Mickey,
yeah, that's baseball.
Is already a baseball first name. Mickey Callaway just sounds like
right. That does sound like
his
baseball.
parents. Know
Are you trying to say where's Girardi gonna go? Who are the Yankees gonna hire?
That's what I mean.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at
Girard.
the inverse.
No, I don't think Girard. Like that's what I'm saying. Who's left in the market for them to go out and get?
They didn't fire him.
It was a parting of ways.
It was the same thing with John Farrell. They just told him you're not going to be back next year.
But the thing is, it doesn't make sense why you would fire him.
That's the other thing.
He's coached his way out of a lot of situations, though.
No, and he's had some bad.
Yeah, but he's also. They had no business being good this year.
Yeah, but look at that lineup, though.
Yeah, you say that,
but they were that players.
Lineup at the beginning of the year too.
Right. Yeah. I mean, but look at like the Red Sox last year. If they got to the next round, would have done the same thing.
The Red Sox last year,
right? Like behind Mookie Betts running for second MVP, and Rick Porcello was the Cy Young, and all these things. Like, where did that come from? Like none of that. Mookie Betts is a good player. So is Aaron Judge. So is Sanchez.
Yeah, but Girardi. I feel like Girardi hasn't had the. He's never. Has he ever finished as bad? Like, were they in last place last year?
I don't know about being in last place.
He's missed the playoffs. Like he had like the World Series, then he missed the playoffs a couple times.
He's been their manager for 10 years.
I think that's what it is.
First year.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like it's a lot of. Hey, but also he's had to deal with complete kind of like shitbag players that came there just for a payday.
Right. Oh yeah.
And it's true. Like he's still got all these young guys to buy in.
I was having this conversation with my dad. We're coming back from golf. There's a lot of Yankee fans who are like, "Oh well, I mean, we lost, but next year we're going to be back." It's not that easy.
Right,
that's what I'm saying.
It's not just like you. Now you don't have Girardi, who might have been. For all we know, he could have been the reason.
Yeah, I don't buy it. I'm just not into that.
I also think
belief,
that they probably would have won more games if their fucking closer.
You know what I mean? Like people
wasn't so bad.
People
like just think
lose
about
it.
that. Like
Right.
that's we say the same thing if Sale wasn't so bad in the end of the season, if Price pitched great during the season.
Yeah,
like
if
yeah,
like,
that's what I'm
people
saying.
lose
But
it.
Girardi, he coached as far as he could with the team.
Like
he
Aaron
had.
Judge. Aaron Judge was really good this year.
Yeah.
It's not a guarantee that he's going to be this good next year.
No.
Right.
It happens all the time.
That's what I'm saying. I think you could have that, as we like to call it, the rookie hangover in the NFL. You come out like gangbuster, and then all of a sudden your second season, like, oh, what
Yeah.
happened?
Look at the Red Sox roster.
Yes, yeah.
They all regressed.
Right. Yeah.
Mookie Betts was really good last year. He regressed.
And I think the difference is I
Xander
think
Bogaerts regressed.
their team really they liked Girardi.
Yeah.
From the way it looks, like every player.
He seemed like a well-respected manager.
I was gonna say he's a player that became he didn't he catch like a perfect game for like David Cohn or something like that.
That might be true.
But I'm saying,
idea about
But I'm
that
saying,
guy.
like, he's one of those guys that, like, got the baseball mind. He played a decent career, went into coaching, became a manager for the fucking Yankees, won you a World Series, and kept you in. And he made it in the playoffs a couple times. I don't want to get off like too far onto the Yankees, but like. We're talking about the Red Sox. At least they got their fucking manager, and
And
they're
now
not.
what are
they
the
got
Yankees
to.
gonna
They got
do?
to pick who
Brad
they wanted.
Osmus.
Yeah.
That'll be theirs.
Yeah.
I would say that's probably the best candidate
That's
left is
who's
Brad Osmus.
kind of like left.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Unless they can convince somebody to come out of like retirement.
There was a really funny post that I just saw on Facebook earlier where it was like the Yankees need a manager, and it was Alex Rodriguez like sliding into second and then turning and just looking at the camera, but he's like total days like David Hasselhoff pose, like just laid out. So
No, you know who?
That would be...
that'd be weird.
I don't even know if that would be a good hire.
I don't think so either.
I don't think he could handle...
Well, just think he had to deal with that shit.
That's a lot of scrutiny.
That was
to
a
be
lot. That was a
manager.
lot.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
he had
Like more than being a player.
he had him. He had the fucking scumbag that couldn't play well and was a fucking idiot. Freaking Teixeira that did nothing when he went to New York.
Yeah, he had a really,
nothing.
really big last year.
Yeah.
Like last year or two. Like he played his way into like another contract somewhere. He wound up getting traded, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, he saved himself a little bit. But yeah, that was a fucking
He just
really
never
bad contract.
performed there.
Right.
And he was so adamant that he couldn't go to Boston.
Yeah.
That's because you can't perform in a big market.
Yeah, I wasn't huge on Mark Teixeira anyway. But yeah, I mean, I like the Alex Cora hiring. I give it an A just because
that's who I wanted them to hire.
Right.
So
yeah, that's true.
I will say, like I said, it kind of depends on who's on the team. But I think if he's as tense as you're saying that people are saying he is, that's a good thing. Like I need somebody to go in there and not take Price's bullshit, Pedroia's bullshit. Set the tone for the young players. Hey guys, have fun, but fucking play.
hopefully he won't have to deal with a lot of those guys because they trade him all the way for Giancarlo Stanton.
That would be great.
Right.
That would be
Yes,
amazing.
Yes, I would love that. To share the year, I was thinking about the year before they got rid of him. He had 31 home runs that year and 100 RBIs. But other than
What
that,
was his average?
He batted 255 that year. But before that, his rundown, just to do some quick Mark Teixeira teasing, he batted 292 his first year, 39 home runs, 122 RBIs, really good year. Had 33 home runs, 108 RBIs, 39 home runs, 111 RBIs, actually killer start to his first 3 seasons. Then he went down to 24 and 84, he batted 251. Then he played in 15 games, had 63 at-bats, had 8 RBIs. 12 RBIs and 3 home runs. And then he played in 123 games. He batted 216, 255, and 204 after that. So,
I just think that like he's one of those guys that you think about like Carl Crawford that comes in,
right,
plays well at, like the
Or
beginning, and then you
the
like
bigger
gotta
piece
get
of shit.
Julio Lugo.
Julio logo.
It's true. Well, that's all I got for Red Sox talk. I just was curious because for me, I was looking at like what could they.
What
could they do?
I
And
like
think that's
him.
the best
I like him.
hire.
I don't have like this like when I think about it. Oh man, you should just stayed in Toronto kind of feel for like Farrell. But like this guy, like give him a shot. Like if anywhere is, they're gonna give him a roster.
Farrell was managing and was already hated by Toronto.
Yes,
At the time that we got him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that kind of says something that Alex Cora is an up and coming prodigy manager,
and he didn't play for Houston,
right?
And they liked him, there.
And they love him there, right? So I'm going to move on to not mad at it.
Would you make this trade? Xander Bogaerts.
If you hit me with the same trade that I've been proposing for 2 weeks,
Jackie Bradley Jr.
Okay.
David Price.
Yeah. For
Stan.
I wouldn't love it.
I don't think I could hit the accept button fast enough.
Yeah. I don't want to get rid of Jackie Bradley.
Well, I was going to say the one of the two. You can't. I don't want to.
And if you're Miami,
yep.
Why wouldn't you take that?
That's
trade?
a fucking no-brainer deal, right?
You get
right.
Your shortstop,
a young prodigy shortstop. You get one of the best best defensive players in Major Leagues,
right.
And you get a former ace who for all you know could return to form.
He loves Florida.
Yeah,
right, yeah. And he's not. I mean,
and you probably get.
He wasn't awful this year. Just injured.
There's probably prospects involved too,
right.
Those three.
If you get back,
and you just you just shift around your outfield.
Yeah. You
throw Stanton back there, and then you figure out what you do with.
Right.
My dad was talking about another third baseman. He's not on the Red Sox right now.
Mm-hmm.
They were going to trade for him.
I don't know.
This is like a guy who hits like 30 home runs, 20 or 30 home runs.
He's in the majors?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Blackman?
Machado?
No, he's not that big of a name.
All right.
But it's
I was like, Blackman? He was really good for Colorado, and
it
Colorado
doesn't matter. Then you just figure out your infield. Maybe you move Betts down. Maybe you move Betts to second.
Why third baseman? You have
like
Devers.
No, not well. He was saying
you would need a shortstop.
You bring in this third baseman. You move Devers to second.
I just think he's not mobile
Devers is
enough.
pretty big for.
He's a big guy.
And then something else. And then you have to figure out shortstop.
Yeah,
but you could leave.
Yeah,
you could leave Devers at third and then just figure out shortstop.
Right.
Yes.
I don't love the deal, but I wouldn't. If they pulled it off, I wouldn't be like, that's an awful deal. I would be like indifferent.
You don't love the deal just because they lose Jackie Bradley?
I want that outfield to stay for as long as possible.
Because I feel like Giancarlo Stanton is an upgrade over everyone.
Offensively, sure.
Yeah, but defensively...
But Jackie Bradley is the best defense. Like, how many runs does Jackie Bradley stop?
You're assuming that Mookie
probably
Betts
evens out with how many runs Giancarlo Stanton gives you.
Provides. It's probably true. Bradley probably loses that.
Well, I think it's also assuming that you can get all...
Plus, Giancarlo Stanton's in Fenway now for half the games.
I know. He's just going to play pepper with that wall.
He's not even going to touch that wall. He's going to fucking... you ever seen someone hit a ball through a wall? Because that's what's going to happen. He's going to put holes in the green monster.
That's interesting. We'll pull that this week for our social media second.
Would you make that trade? I would make it. I would make it so fast.
I don't know if I would or not.
I couldn't give up Bradley like that. I think you're giving up too much.
We're talking about a guy who hits 50 home runs. The one thing this team didn't have.
Okay, so all right, so you don't have.
And you think the defensive drop? You think the
I'm not saying
total team defense is going to drop that much with one guy?
No, but I think you're downplaying what you're giving up at shortstop as well.
Are you though?
Yes. Yeah.
Bogaerts was down this year.
Yeah, I'm not high on
he was, but I still think he's a
good young shortstop.
I think he's the middle of the league.
He's a really good young shortstop, which is exactly why he's a perfect piece to throw into this trade. They already traded away a really good young shortstop early in his career when they traded Hanley Ramirez away.
This sounds crazy. I think you need David Price too. I think that Price is a valuable piece.
See, I'd rather give up Price and Bogaerts and whatever little other piece you have to throw into
Price,
that.
As valuable of a piece as he is, how much did he help this team this year?
It's a fucking headache.
Down the stretch a lot.
Yeah, down the stretch, but I mean...
So in the dog days of August when he wasn't around, who cares? You know what I mean?
But when he was around, I think he was...
But if you have run support, Porcello is a better pitcher this year than... You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Porcello...
If you have run support, so you're like throwing in a caveat that didn't exist.
Yeah, run support comes from 50 home runs that you inject into this lineup.
Yeah, no, that's true. Okay, so then you have just Porcello and Sale.
You have Porcello and Sale, and I would bring back Fister.
And then three other guys that really didn't help you much. I mean, Fister got on a hot streak.
Yeah, but I'd give him another shot.
Yeah.
and give him
The trade my dad proposed
gets worse.
The trade my dad proposed didn't involve Price. Price stayed on the team. It was Eduardo Rodriguez.
Yes, I would do that deal.
And if I'm the Marlins, I think I still do that deal.
Yeah, I would do that
because now you get a young pitcher.
Right, young pitcher, young shortstop
who has games.
Oh, the Marlins should do the deal no matter what. Because they get an up and coming shortstop, one of the best defensive players in MLB. And if it's Eduardo Rodriguez, you get a young pitcher with quality starts in the major leagues. Right. I'm far less opposed to that deal. I think Price is an important piece. I don't like him. I don't like him at all.
But in that scenario, you keep Price. So you have Price, Sale, Porcello, Fister if they bring him back, and then you can find another pitcher.
Yes. I hate David Price. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like, oh, I really want this guy to. I want the guy to do well. I do. But
and you're injecting 50 home runs into that.
You check your personal issue with Price at the door when you think of him as a pitcher.
Right.
You don't think of David Price, the idiot on the plane. You think of David Price, the pitcher.
I think of David Price, the guy that controlled the locker room that had no leadership.
David Price.
I'm saying
that's the problem. The personal problem came because there was no leadership in that locker room.
What I'm saying is I'm not saying this isn't negative. I'm saying you look at it very like he can be a good pitcher. We saw it in the post, leading into the postseason.
You're also assuming that David Price is the problem in the locker room and that it wasn't a John Farrell problem. Because it very well could have been a John Farrell problem.
That's why I leave it at that.
And a different manager comes in and flips that whole thing.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I don't know yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Alex Cora could come in and everyone's on the same page.
Was never known as a cancer in Tampa Bay or
wherever. He was known as a good locker room guy.
Right. and you know what's fucked up is I think a lot of the guys in the locker room like David Price.
Yeah.
I just think the way that he handled himself was anti.
I think he's soft when it comes to handling the media and not when it comes to handling the locker room.
Well, see, I think that's.
And the thing is, if you're in the locker room, who gives a fuck about what happens in the media? Media can hate this guy. Mm-hmm. I mean, we react to it because we're fans, and he comes off like an idiot.
Right.
But to the guys in the locker room, that shouldn't affect how you play. That this guy is not liked by the media.
That's true. Yeah.
Just so we don't have to keep talking about David Price, let's do you're not mad at it.
Yeah, we move on.
Yeah, so, it was Eduardo Rodriguez though, not David Price in that trade.
I like that deal more. A lot more.
And I think it's a fair especially
that's
if you throw a couple of prospects in there.
Yeah.
And I know you didn't want to trade away, a young good shortstop, but they've done it before. Hanley Ramirez was a very good young shortstop.
Yeah, and they got Beckett and Lowell.
And they got rid of him.
Right, yeah. With the Marlins. So
yeah, if you get
for a need,
right?
I was say, but if you get some aging shortstop from them or whatever you possibly need,
you know what I
second
want?
Baseman.
You know what I want?
Aging
forever?
Second baseman.
Yeah, you know what I want forever is to bottle Orlando Cabrera's excitement in 2004 and just have that shortstop be the shortstop for Red Sox eternity. Because when they traded Nomar and he came on the scene, and I was like, oh, this guy is so fucking fun, and he flashes so much leather. And Alex Gonzalez was the better shortstop after that. But Eduardo Rodriguez was just, or Orlando Cabrera was just so much fun, dude.
Yeah.
I love being part of the idiots.
And I know
him and Manny's rapport and Ortiz and Pedro, those guys all ate each other up. And it was just, I want to bottle in that embodiment of shortstop play for the rest of Red Sox eternity.
And I know you were like, I don't want to lose Jackie Bradley. He's too good on defense. Mm-hmm. I would rather have that defense at the shortstop position.
Sure, yeah.
I know he's really good in center field, but I'd rather have him.
I just think Jackie's so exciting. I really like outfielder play.
I would like to go, if they do make that deal here at Xander, I would like the guy that they bring in to be a defense guy.
Right. You get back.
Yeah, you already had.
Because you didn't get. Right. It's not like you had a huge bat from Xander Bogaerts.
Iglesias, right?
Yes. Yeah, you traded Iglesias for, I forgot who it was. I think it was Victor Martinez or some shit.
No, they traded Iglesias away for.
Who was it?
He was awful, right?
Yeah.
It was
whoever they got back.
Another shortstop, wasn't it?
No. That's when they turned to Xander.
No, that's not what I'm thinking about then. I'm thinking about. Who was there? Was
it might have been Victor Martinez, but I thought that he was part of another deal. But that could, I don't know. That's a good one.
So I know V-Mart ended up with him in Detroit.
I would like to get another a defensive shortstop. Because you're not. It's not like Xander had a great bat this year.
Right.
Yeah,
damn it. Who was that? I can't remember.
I'll look it up after. We'll do it after.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what's your not mad at?
Not mad
Mr. Dawson
at it is.
Don't act like you're not impressed.
It's actually, I'm not even mad. It's amazing.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, me too.
Early Monday morning, I go online and I see a post, and it's a Craigslist ad. It actually got submitted to me by.
I know what this is.
Yeah, so it got submitted to me by a coworker too, but I saw it earlier in the morning. 383 fog machines for sale in Foxborough for $2,900. They all work perfectly, all used once. I tested all 383 of them to make sure they worked. Just please do not operate or around any birds, such as eagles, falcons, or ravens. They don't do so well in these. Love the post. Not mad at it.
You missed the best part, though. Please only contact me by phone. I'm not down with InstaFace, Snapface, or InstaChat.
Took the old Belichick line.
Yeah.
Please contact me by phone. Not down with Snapface or InstaChat. Great post. Awesome Craigslist post. I saw it on Facebook.
It was amazing.
That's brilliant. I was not mad at that this week.
How many people that don't watch football that are like weirdo in the woods called that number?
Yeah, they're like, hey, I could use 383 fog machines. I all used once.
How many people who don't understand sarcasm think that's like a real thing?
A real thing.
Oh, no, there's somebody in Atlanta who's like, see, I fucking was right.
Those people are like, are you like, yeah, that's Bill Belichick.
Julio Jones is like, fucking told you.
Or how many, the owner of Atlanta, he's doing his dance.
Arthur Blank's fucking sitting up there doing his thing.
By the way, if you were, hypothetically speaking, to try and rig a game by pumping fog into the stadium,
wouldn't you pick something a little one-sided?
Wouldn't you see fog flooding in from wherever you have the fog machines?
Yeah.
Like fog machines projecting like a stream of fog. It's not like they just like slowly emit it out. It's like they blow a stream of fog.
Especially if you had that many.
Right. And
you would hear it.
Yeah. Fog isn't like Patriot proof either.
Yeah.
Like they had to play in that too, So we'll move right on to your BalkTalk.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
That's a book.
All right, so my BalkTalk, you guys don't know what it is.
No,
I didn't tell you.
What's your excuse?
No, that's not it.
What is your excuse?
It's very loosely Boston related because the company was started in Boston.
Okay. I know what this is.
But I am and I think Dave is too.
Yeah.
And maybe Aaron.
Wow.
Maybe Aaron. I don't know. Me and
not.
Dave have a lot of conversations post podcast, which is why I know this.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a Stoolie. I'm a big Barstool fan. I listen to their podcasts. As many of you know, I drive, so I listen to their podcasts a lot. I have like 5 Barstool podcasts in my podcast queue. I listen to them all the time.
Yeah.
One of my favorite ones is Pardon My Take, which is a really funny podcast.
Right.
It's just a sports podcast. The two guys are hilarious. They were offered a television deal with ESPN to make a show called Barstool Van Talk.
Yeah.
They made one episode. It got 88,000 viewers at 1 in the morning.
Right.
The show before it had 55,000 viewers. The show after it, 30,000 viewers. Both of those were up from before the show previewed. So the ratings were really good for a 1 a.m. show. The next week they canceled it because Barstool, as a lot of people know, is a very controversial company. They had gotten into some arguments with other ESPN employees years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think El Prez called Sam Ponder a slut in a rant he was on, and Sam Ponder remembered this slut comment, waited 3 years to drop a tweet the week before Barstool Van Talk aired saying Barstool treats women terribly. They are sexist and misogynistic. If you are like this whole, she goes on this rant about how awful Barstool is.
Yeah.
That's not even the worst part.
Right.
Sam Ponder, she has a grudge, whatever. Sarah Spain is another chick who has a grudge with Barstool for whatever reason. And now shit's coming out of the woodwork that shows that they are complete hypocrites, terrible fucking people.
Right.
This is what I'm really BalkTalking. So people start hopping onto this like white knighting people. Like, yeah, Barstool's awful. There's a guy who works for Barstool. His name is Chaps. He has a running gag of blogs he does where it's like, hey, that looks like a vagina on that turkey. Is it trying to get the pipe? Like, he will put, is this turkey trying to get the pipe? With a picture of a turkey that looks like it has a vagina on it. He posted a blog that said, is this pumpkin trying to get the pipe? And it was a pumpkin that looked like it had a vagina and a butthole.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Right.
People were retweeting that and saying, at ESPN, you are a Disney company. How can you do business with a company that promotes stuff like this?
Right.
It's a joke about fucking a pumpkin.
Right. Right.
How does that have anything to do with being like sexist, awful? It's clearly a joke.
Right. Right.
And you're also putting it out at their show.
It's 1 in the morning.
It's 1 in the morning. So the children that you're worried about seeing their random comedy
and Chaps.
Yeah. He only blogs. He doesn't.
Has nothing to do with the Barstool Van Talk show.
Right. He's not on that. Right. Yeah.
El Prez, nothing to do with the Barstool. Like, El Prez called that girl a slut. The two people who are on the Barstool Van Talk show, PFT commentator and Big Cat, neither of them have ever said anything about Sam Ponder.
Right.
Or Sarah Spain or any of these people.
Yeah. Caitlin Sturgis or whatever. Yeah.
So these people came out of the woodwork.
Jen Sturgis.
And Jen Sturgis sided with them.
Right.
Or Jen Sturger or whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
She sided with them. That's the chick who got Brett Favre in trouble for
showing her dick.
Showing her his dick.
Yeah. I mean,
she came out, and this is why they look like hypocrites. And she was like, when I was trying to tell everyone that, Brett Favre was like sexually harassing me.
Right.
You two came out and like slut shamed me and said I was trying to get with Brett Favre, and that's why what happened. Like, I have tweets that show you guys. And now you're doing the same thing. And you know what their response was? Well, we can't be held accountable for something we said 3 years ago.
Right. I love Portnoy. Portnoy is on fire right now.
When Portnoy called you a slut 3 years ago and you waited 3 years to ruin his television show?
Right.
That's not even his?
Right.
Like, and ESPN looks stupid as fuck in this whole thing.
Now they canceled the show.
Now they canceled a show that got them great ratings at a 1 o'clock and a 1 o'clock in the morning time slot.
I was listening to someone else talk about this, and they were like, "Where does it stop?" If you're an ESPN employee, you got to be like, all right. I don't like Scott Van Pelt. I don't like that guy. I want him fired. I want to disassociate from this guy. I want to, you know what I mean? Because where does it stop now?
If you're tweeting,
how does Jamel Hill still have a job?
She does.
Listen, this is one of the tweets. How can ESPN support this kind of behavior? Talking about, is this pumpkin trying to get the pipe?
Right.
That's what they were responding to.
Right.
How can ESPN support this kind of behavior and Jamel Hill doesn't have a job?
Right.
It's a joke post.
Right.
About a pumpkin.
Right.
Jamel Hill's
on the show. She's still employed.
Yeah, she is. She was suspended.
Right.
And the thing she got suspended for wasn't because of her opinion.
No.
It was because
she advocated for people to stop endorsing their
can't
partner.
Do that.
Their business partner.
We pay the NFL a lot of money to have their product. You can't be telling people
boycott the NFL.
To
That's
not
your
watch
coworker.
it.
Yeah.
No,
absolutely.
If you're going to be one of those people who post something like, I can't believe ESPN would work with a company that wants you to have sex with a pumpkin.
Yeah.
Like, you better have never used the eggplant emoji, ironically, or like the peach emoji, or even like the teardrop thing.
Right.
You better not have tweeted or texted any of those. Because you are just as bad as wanting to fuck a pumpkin.
That's true.
And it was trying to get the pipe.
It was.
I'm
blowing past closing time this week.
God,
we really don't have anything. We just you put out a podcast, right?
I did.
You put out a podcast. You have a podcast out this week?
I did.
I have one coming out.
As the music's coming on.
Yeah.
If you guys were on a 250-mile road trip, it's a little over 3 hours if you're on the highway, and you could only listen to one song the whole road trip, what song would you pick?
Really random. This isn't like my favorite song or anything, but it would be I Would Walk 500 Miles and I Would Walk 500 More.
You know what? That's a wild answer because that song's awful. You are the second person to say that.
Really?
Yes. And I had the same response when I was like, that's a wild, awful answer. probably the worst answer you could ever answer to this question.
I don't think it's a good song.
No.
I just think the sing-along ability
You're trying to pick a song that you're not going to purposely crash your car in like 4 hours in.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
4 hours into a 3-hour car ride.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so...
Do you have an answer?
Mine would be... mine's Off the Wall.
Yeah.
But I think it would keep me awake the whole time.
Mine's Night Moves by Bob Seger.
So you guys are picking like songs that are like upbeat.
Yeah. Night Moves isn't that upbeat.
Dude, I'm going like...
Night Moves is a cruising song.
I'm going... Dude, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a little bit more like comfortable vibe.
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
like... I might go like...
Well, it's a 3-hour car ride.
I know.
Stay awake.
No, that's what I'm fucking... Yeah, but I'm one of those people that like...
Death Punch or something?
3 Inches of Blood.
Oh, God.
Deadly Sinners. It's just... It is loud and in your... Like, punches you in the gut.
You might want to kill yourself.
That's what I'm saying, but I'll get there. But I'll get there in 2 hours.
Or you'll purposely run off the road, like when you're listening to "I Would Walk 500 Miles" for the 18th time.
You know what I also like? "Diamonds on the Soles of Her Shoes" by Phil Collins.
All right.
You don't put on Highway to Hell and just like all of a sudden you're doing
Highway to Hell was another answer I heard.
No, but I'm saying like you're doing like 10 to 15 miles per hour more than you normally would once you hear that song.
I will never admit to that.
Highway to Hell is a good answer.
I'm just saying like
I don't admit to speating. I don't commit any crimes.
That's the stuff that like something that makes me drive faster.
Night Moves by Bob Seger or Piano Man.
See, it'll slow me down. I want something that'll make me want to drive faster.
I would say Piano Man.
See, I think the 500 miles one was just like, I was just like,
yeah, it would be great for like the first 2 times you heard it. Now do it 5 more times. When you're on song 7 of "I Would Walk 500 Miles," you're gonna be like someone.
I'll just turn it down.
I think I would walk. I think "I Would Walk 500 Miles" is a song they torture people with at Guantanamo.
I think I would walk 500 miles with that playing in my earbuds on repeat.
Nah, I don't know if you would.
And
you would walk right off a cliff.
500 more just to be the man that walked 1,000 miles with 500 miles.
To show about your door.
Or maybe some King Diamond.
There you go.
That'll keep you awake.
"Chunky" by Bruno Mars would be a good one if you upbeat one.
Yeah. I think if you give me any Phil Collins, I'm in. No, I keep saying Phil Collins. I mean Paul Simon.
Paul Simon.
It's
a big difference.
Diamonds on the Soles of Her Shoes by Paul Simon.
All right.
Yeah. Or Call Me Al.
Call
Simon
Me Maybe.
Garfunkel. No, not Call Me Maybe. You Can Call Me Al.
"Sweet Caroline."
Oh.
If I had to ride 500 miles with Dave,
it
would be "Sweet Caroline."
MC Chris.
MC Hammer.
No, MC Chris's song, "Fets Vets."
I don't know that one.
It's about Bubba Fett.
Okay.
Never mind, I'm done.
That's how we end it.